anything. I want to try chicken. Oh my fucking god! Holy shit!
You know, if the setting is right.
Storms now.
Okay, got it.
Storms, Arthars.
I did. Did it not go off?
Oh, I'm dead.
You need to press it. You need to press it.
It's hard to see me, I'm sorry. There you go, I did it. I know you couldn't see all of it, but I did it. I did it. Now that's your free pose. I need money now. I need to see I need
Welcome everybody to MogTalk. If you guys are unfamiliar with MogTalk, it's a show based around the Final Fantasy XIV community discussing everything from Savage Raiding to Chocobo Racing. And today, we will be talking about something that has been very relevant in the Final Fantasy XIV community, which is getting into FanFest. It's been a huge topic, a big ordeal for a lot of us out here. FanFest, everyone is extremely excited for it, but unfortunately not everyone can go. But we'll be discussing a lot of different things, from getting tickets to the past FanFest to the FanFest that's coming up, and so on. But before we go into it too much more, I do want to have all of our guests introduce themselves so you know who is on the show with us today. And I'm going to start here with, I'm going to go to reverse this time. Sly, could you tell everybody who you are?
Sure. Hi, I'm SlyAkaGreyFox here on Twitch. This will be my 10th year of streaming, 7 years as a partner as of tomorrow. Again, Variety Caster, mainly do Final Fantasy, do a lot of JRPGs, and as you saw from the intro, I cook as well. So, I apparently main culinarian in real life. So, that's me.
I'm going to be honest with you, like the good Southern cooking stuff that you have on there every once in a while really hits me pretty hard, because that's cooking I'm used to back, and it makes me really hungry. I've said this multiple times. It's anger hungry. Like, I see it, and then I'm just really mad because it's food I can't eat. I know it's good, but it's completely unavailable to me at that moment. But I have to make it. I have to either go there. I have to do, like, there's so many things that I have to go and do in order to get it. But it's right there in front of me. Just, it's thousands of miles away from my reach. And so I get really angry. But
please tell me you're gonna bring some chicken to FanFest. I swear, I want to see some.
I'm not bringing chicken, but I am making hurricanes there. So I'm bringing the stuff to make hurricanes.
What the hell's a hurricane? What the heck?
You've never had a hurricane, like the New Orleans drink? Like,
I don't drink. I'm a baby, man. I drink water. Okay, I'm not the only one.
I'm gonna order yo Cole. We gotta order Meiji chocolate milk or
strawberry. Oh yeah, I'm down for 100%. That. Yeah. Some Sprite. That's all I drink.
Okay. Let's have Ko introduce himself too here. So Ko, tell about who you are.
Hey guys, my name is Kougaon. I am primarily a 14 streamer, but I'm trying to break into doing some other things. So Genshin Impact or any of the MiHoYo games I'm trying to get into. But I make YouTube videos. I stream sometimes, and I also tweet a lot. So yeah,
lots of tweeting.
Probably seen me. Yeah, I tweet too much, honestly. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Arthars, tell everybody who you are.
Yo, what's up, man? Yeah, Frosty already laid out for me already down here. Yeah. Yeah. Nice to meet everybody. Yeah. Mainly stream 14. Actually, me and Sly are almost the same, because I think we both got partnered actually the same month. I think Sly got it, and then after that the following March. Yeah, I got it on April. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
We are going into our. I'm pretty sure we are the same year. 8 year.
Yeah. 2016. Yeah. So 7 years.
Yeah. Same.
Yep.
2016? Wait, so that's not 10 years ago. I'm confused.
No.
Oh, you've been streaming for 10
years.
Streaming
10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay.
There's always a handful of years before the part.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
I know that very well personally.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what was it like? I think it took 6-7 years before like I was even recognized at all by Twitch in any way outside of affiliation. So don't worry, guys. If you're out there streaming,
keep trying.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep working hard.
Well, the reason I brought all these wonderful friends here to talk about FanFest, of course, is because, again, it's a big topic going on right now. A lot of, I guess, people who watch this show or people in the Final Fantasy XIV community actually haven't been here through the whole life cycle of all the FanFests and everything in the past and how tickets were before and all this other stuff. But let's just go ahead and talk about this current situation with tickets because, again, sadly, not a lot of people were able to get in. I mean, let's just start with this. How many of you guys won the lottery for your ticket?
Us as in right now?
Yeah, us on the show.
Oh,
us
okay.
on the show. Yeah.
I actually did not win, but fortunately, my sister, who plays not even that much Final Fantasy XIV, I play way more than her. I devoted my whole career into this, and she got in. She like checked her email. At first, she was like, "I didn't get it," but then she checked the actual email tied to her account, and she got in.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the heck? So I got really lucky with my sister getting tickets. We got 2. We were both set and ready to go. That's how we got our ticket. But I failed. I failed the lottery.
Okay. Sly?
Yeah, the day the lottery came out, I was checking both my main email and the email that's tied to my account. Nothing. So everybody's like, Sly, you know they're gonna get invited. I'm like, no, the hell I don't. I don't think anybody's gotten that email.
No.
And like I guess a week or so later, do general admission and got it there.
Okay.
Oh, so you had to deal with the walking man, right? The little loading thing.
Funny thing about that. I hear people, like a lot of people said like, oh, I had like eight windows up, and I only had the one. And I had it up like my mod told me, hey, the queue is about to start. It's not starting. It's just like there's a little countdown. I'm like, okay, let me open this up. And yeah, my little man walked pretty briskly, like he was moving. And I got mine. So.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arthars?
I mean, didn't win the lottery, obviously, but to be honest, I'm pretty sure anybody, like I said earlier, right? Pretty sure, right? I'm pretty sure anybody that wants to be there they will get a ticket. Like at least for the NA one. Because the moment I don't think it's a lot, right? Like even though, I think how many tickets did they hand out? 15,000 or something?
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right.
Like
Yeah.
So when I'm not sure where people get this number, but the moment they were telling me, oh, there's like 15,000 tickets, I'm like, okay, that's like what, double, triple of the previous FanFest that you guys went to. So yeah, should be fine. And then, that's what I thought initially. And then you go to social media, you go to Twitch, and then you start talking to your friends and like, wait, nobody got a ticket. Nobody won the lottery. So then it become like, wait, hold up. There's no way, right? And then people start saying that, oh, there are waves, just wait for it. There were no waves. Those waves were copium. It was one and done, whether you get it or you don't, right? So then, but still, within myself, I tell myself, dude, there's no way. If I really want a ticket, I'm 100% sure I'll get one. Any content creator wants a ticket, I'm 100% sure they will get one. It's just now or later. It's just how you're gonna get it, right? So then I just like ask on stream, anybody got like a code, you can DM me. I'm not paying any. I put it very upfront, right? I'm not paying anything. I'm not gonna pay you $100, $200 for the codes, right? I'm just seeing, just first random asking, right? Anybody got like a code that you don't need? I don't even need 2 tickets. I just need 1. Since you only surely, right? So many of you in chat watching, surely one of you have, right? So I got lucky, like a few people messaged me, and then I just like I took one obviously for me and Violent, and then after that, I took another one for Gorillion and Flux. So I'm like, yeah, people who wants to be there, I'm pretty sure there's a way to get a ticket. Same, right? All of you eventually also got 1 ticket, right? Like Cole, if not for the sister, I'm pretty sure he will still get a ticket.
No,
right?
Nobody reached out to me. No, I made my
because
tweet.
you didn't need it anymore. But
I made my tweet and nobody DM'd me. I was like hoping maybe someone's gonna DM me, and then nobody sent me nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, but this is just the first time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But eventually, I think after a few days, if you really need it, someone will someone will get it, you know. Like, and then you proceed to Twitter. Everybody was like saying how oh, I didn't get it. Oh, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Now,
Yeah.
if you go and ask all of them got a ticket. Every single one. So at least for NA, I think we are really lucky that we got like 15,000 tickets. And then I think the people that needs to be there, wants to be there, will be there. The EU one, though, I'm not sure whether we'll be talking about the EU one. Let me tell you, the EU one, oof,
Yeah.
that is impossible. I think the EU one only got 4,500 tickets.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's pretty small.
No way.
Smaller venue?
None of the people that I know and wants to be there got a ticket. And it's been, what, a week? No one got a bite. Literally, no one got a spare ticket to give. I was also asking because I wouldn't mind going to the EU one as well, right? Me and Zeno and Gorillion, because he's based in EU now, we were like, you know, we don't mind meeting up in EU, yeah, you know? No one. Literally no bites. Nothing. Silent.
Wow.
No one is talking about it. Those people that wants to be there don't even have it. Those people who don't even want to be there also don't have it. I'm not even sure who got a EU FanFest ticket. It was really bad. Yeah.
Actually,
the EU situation is way worse.
So my girlfriend lives in EU, and not the flex. I'm just saying, you know, she just you know, to the story. She got a ticket. Her sister's got a ticket, and actually, one of my viewers, like one of my mods, actually got a ticket as well. So I know a few people who got it, but it's definitely like rare, very rare. Yeah, but it's also super rare because I saw another friend of mine. It took her a bit, but she actually got a ticket from somebody else who just gave her a ticket as a spare as their +1. So it's weird because from my end, I've seen it a little bit, but yeah, maybe for your end, it makes more sense that now knowing the number was like 4,500, it is definitely way more rare. And it was super weird with their situation too, because they had 2 waves of tickets going out. The second wave came, and nobody got anything as far as I heard. Like, it was just like a false hope thing. I don't know what was up with that.
That is really odd. Yeah. I mean, just in particular with the NA, what you were talking about earlier, Arthars, like, just so you know, every single time that they sold tickets, I made a solid effort to get tickets. I never depended on like any other way of getting into FanFest because I don't know if I'm gonna do something bad. If I'm gonna like find myself into a sticky situation where like, yeah, you're not gonna get invited in, or you're not gonna like because fortunately in 2018 I was actually doing events for Square Enix, right? I did one for NA and I did one for EU, so of course I was able to get in because of that. But I still bought tickets for the NA one, 100%. And I just made sure after I knew I had another way to get in, those tickets went to those that needed those tickets. And that's always how I handle it. In 2014, for some reason, those didn't sell out really fast. The first FanFest, because I guess it just wasn't in a position to where it was like immediate sellout. It sold out, but I was able to like get in the first little bit. It wasn't like, hey, you're there right at the start and then you don't get anything. You actually had a little bit of time.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I think with 2014, like there was like it was for me. I think I remember having to like reload and reload and reload until like I got the like little pop up saying like, hey, you can go ahead and buy your tickets. Like buy your tickets, and I did. So it wasn't as bad as this because this was completely different. It was lottery and all that jazz. Apart from general admission. 2018, I kind of feel like 2018 was the most organized it's been, because like I feel like people actually had a chance. As opposed to
wait. Hold up. Is 2018 the one that, dude, I was there queuing up for the tickets, man. The moment the site went live, I was already there queuing, you know, with that little bar. Never got a chance. And then I was like, wow, FanFest must be really popular then. And then I heard somebody say, if someone got entry to the purchasing, like if you get past that queue, the bar, someone can copy the URL and give it to anyone, and anyone could instantly go and buy. That's what I heard. That most tickets were sold.
I don't know about that.
That's why I was so upset for that one. Oh, you didn't? Oh,
no, I didn't hear that one. I do remember there was some kind of odd issue with that. 2016, there was definitely some issues with it as well. But I didn't have, again, I was able to get tickets for every single one. And I don't know if that's because I was just super on top of it. I made sure to do it. And I got, each one was 4 tickets. So I bought 4 tickets each time.
Yeah.
And I always managed to either get it to an FC mate or whoever else needed it at the time, and it worked out pretty well. But this one was completely different because of the lottery system, and I can't say they made the wrong call on it, because the previous system, it's still just as, if you're just going to say, hey, open the doors, let everyone in and try to get it, you're depending on things to work out and you be quick enough with your clicking as well. Which some people are really good at it, but just because someone's really good at it, should people who are not good at it not get tickets? And so a lottery just says, screw it, we're not putting any kind of weird, glitchy kind of skill or people finding backdoors or whatever with it. We're just going to give it out to 10%. It seems like 10% of the people accounts, I don't know, active accounts out there were able to get them. And then just let it kind of handle itself out from there. And all the people who were like, hey, I just wanted to, I have a code, I'm not planning to go, but they can let their friends go or they can let their family go. And the people who really wanted to go, they could filter those tickets out that way. I mean, to the point where it was 2,000, 3,000 tickets were not given away to anyone. They were just like codes sitting in emails that I guess never got any attention or anything else. And eventually they just sold the tickets outright and did it with the old system. And so I feel like this still worked out pretty well. I mean, the one thing that I will say that a lot of people were really concerned about is with like scammers and scalpers and all this other stuff.
Oh, there was a lot of scalpers. Yeah.
The thing is, it's really hard to trust that kind of stuff too, because people just take your money. Man,
Oh, yeah.
And even in this situation where people are talking about like, hey, we could change the name on the account, they could change it more than once.
Yeah.
And it's just a situation to where people are using it as a way to scam people. There may be legitimate people out there selling those tickets, but I would always recommend, if you're trying to buddy up with someone and get your name on one of those tickets, make sure it's someone you know.
Right.
Make sure it's someone that you can believe. There is some sort of connection or relation there or something. It's not just on eBay or wherever else, because you're probably going to get scammed if you have no way to really validate any of this stuff. Or at least that's what I understand.
Those eBay posts were completely scummy. Like, I can't understand. Like, if you sell the tickets at cost, I can understand that. Like being part of the community, being like, kumbaya with the communities, yada yada. I can understand that. Ticket at cost, dap you up, move on. I'll see you at FanFest. These dudes out here putting that shit at for like $800, my dude.
I saw $5,000.
$5,000.
I don't know if that's real. I saw something wild. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like this is just for one ticket. Like one ticket was like what, $199? So yeah, they're like, they're trying to make a profit.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
And then they're going about it like getting the most scummiest way, because that's pretty much the cost of, if you're lucky, like a couple days hotel.
Yeah. It's not worth it, man. I wouldn't mess with any of that stuff. Just don't. And it sucks. It really does suck to not be able to get in, because there are going to be people who want it to go that will not be able to get in just because they don't have a way to get a code or they don't have a way to get anything else. We are the four of us, I think, would be at a point of some level of privilege in getting tickets and getting over to the cons, because we have some people who are viewing that like, hey, yeah, I would like for you to go and everything else, and they work to get tickets for you and everything else. So we do have at least that mild, perspective on our side. There are content creators, though, I think, that aren't currently able to go, or they don't have tickets. And Happy said he's just not going, right? But that was a decision. That was a decision. I would say that's more of a decision, because I think
he got a ticket. Yeah. He just doesn't want to go.
Yeah, I think he wants to save money on it or something of that nature. But yeah, the big issue I think that us as content creators found is reason why we try to get tickets is because we have no guarantee of getting in.
Right.
Right. In any other means. There is no, hey guys, you're a content creator, we'd like you to be there. And this is with lots of other events, some content creators just don't get in. And as the community is growing and there's more people out there, like extremely so there is value to people who are like really big streamers who don't actively stream Final Fantasy 14, who may be starting to take some of those tickets because those are literally media outlets for Square Enix to use, and they only have a limited amount they could use. They're going to try to give those to people who would increase the overall, media bandwidth.
Right.
Me, they give me a ticket. Who am I, like, advertising Final Fantasy 14 to? Final Fantasy 14 players.
Right.
I'm not increasing anything, and so I have no guarantee of that. And I love the community team. I love everybody that's on there and everything else. And there could be a good chance that maybe there will be kind of media pass and everything else. But that exposure doesn't. I'm in the realm of Final Fantasy 14. I don't go outside of it much, and so I'm not adding extra exposure outside of people who already play and subscribe to this game for the most part.
Exactly. That's why, I mean, I stream this game I've been playing this game since 1.0. I've seen how the community work. I've seen multiple fan fests, how they handle this situation, right? I gotta be honest with you, right? If you're already playing the game unconditionally, like all of us here, most of us here, there is no reason why they would give out a ticket for you for exposure. You're already doing it for free anyway.
Yeah.
Right? That's just a lot of, okay, like, just for Square Enix and just for Final Fantasy 14, there's a lot of things that I don't think a lot of people knows. Number one, business level. If you're already playing the game, right, unless they really have no one else to try to reach out more, they won't consider you who are already doing it. Like, they will sponsor people literally. I mean, by the way, this is not just me shitting on Square Enix or anything. Every company does this. There's a reason why a lot of WoW players don't get as much privilege as me. For me, that don't even play WoW. There's also I got way more opportunity from Activision Blizzard than from Square Enix. I don't even play their game much. I do play Overwatch, yes. I do play Call of Duty a lot, yes. I do play World of Warcraft recently a lot, yes. Diablo 4, they only know. I mean, Diablo 1 and 2 is like, what, 20 odd years ago. They probably didn't know how much I play, right? But just because I'm a RPG player in Southeast Asia, right? So then they look up to like, hey, yo, you want? I'm like, wow, that's new. How come Square Enix don't do this to me? But at a business point, pretty sure like Cole as well, right? You are a huge YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
This type of thing is common. They won't approach you if you're already in the community already. If you already have your foot in it, there's no reason for them to, like give you that shoe. They could have given that shoe to somebody else. Somebody else could wear it and then get more, mileage of it. You know what I mean? You already own the shoe. You are. I mean, you're barefoot in it. It doesn't matter. You're already walking amongst the community already, right?
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, it's also based on region. Unlike a lot of company, right? Square Enix only got 3 region, particularly 3 region: NA, EU, JP. It's not like Blizzard, Activision. They got Australia, they got Oceanic, they got Southeast Asia, and then within Southeast Asia, there's Singapore, Thailand, Taiwan, Hong Kong, a lot. Square Enix is only 3, NA, EU, or JP. So, like, for example, right? If they hand out stuff to you, sometimes they can't reach that far. It is only like maybe, these are some little copium. Obviously, this is also some little knowledge that I know that, maybe that's why I didn't get reached, usually. The only one that I think they really reach out to everybody and they like specifically handpick people for, say, event is the last Fan Fest where it was digital. Because they don't need to worry about logistics, they don't need to worry about reaching out to people who are too far. Can they make it? Let's just say, for example, right, if I were to say, they did this before in Shadowbringer, by the way. Hey, Arthars, you want to go to Shadowbringer Media Tour? I'm like, holy shit, I got invited, let's go. Wait, hold up. We are not paying for hotels. We are not paying for flights. It's just a one-day event. So you have to pay for yourself one day to fly there and then book a hotel one day. I'm like, bro, that's like $2,000, man.
That's a
so
lot.
last minute as well, right? I'm like, there's no way I'm going. There's no way. So, like, I'm pretty sure they also like, okay, if we were to invite a random guy somewhere in a random place in the world, right? If we put a space for him, but he can't even make it, wouldn't that be a waste to begin with? Why the hell do you even approach this person, right? Might as well reach out to the closer one, right? So there's a lot of levels of business like decision going on. And then Yoshi P is also not the one that decide who goes or who not go, who gets the ticket or who not, you know? So at the end of the day, all these, different layer, all these different management is why, FanFest, media tour, events, some of us get it, some of us don't. And also sometimes you got your PR company that is like, they reach out more or they just reach locally, then they give out stuff to you, they send out stuff to you. This kind of thing is, although on stream, we always like, there's no way, Square Enix hates me, there's no way, because I shit talk the game. No, actually, it's not really that. It's just, it's just logistic.
Yeah, I think
not just Square Enix, any other game, any other sponsorship is the same. So
and just like talking about this is really good to add some level of visibility for the people who just don't understand why content creators are concerned about getting tickets, right? And how this stuff kind of works and everything else. There is a lot more to it, and it's literally a lot to do with business. Now, I will say there are exceptions to it, right? There are exceptions where Square Enix does show appreciation, and then they will say, hey, this is purely out of appreciation for what you've done for the community, and we want to make sure that you keep doing it, and, they want to retain that. There is some level of that, but they only have so much of that as well. There are budgets. There's so much that goes on. They don't have like an infinite budget to just send everyone out to FanFest, send everyone out to everywhere, give everyone to media tour access. It just doesn't exist.
Right.
And so there is a lot to think about on the back end. And so as a content creator for Final Fantasy XIV, FanFest is important to me very much, and I know some it's not as important, or like for Happy's example, that's a decision that he made, but for me, I'm like, I just want to go because one, I'm going to enjoy it a lot because it's like literally just a party with all my friends, two, because it's a very important part of what I do, and so I am going to make a serious effort to get tickets unless if I already have a guaranteed path otherwise, and we don't. They don't just contact you before those tickets go on sale. At least not at the moment. And so we have to make smart decisions on our end to try to get these tickets and everything else. So at least that's. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say another thing is like.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say that, like, honestly, as a content creator, I don't even think that we should have like any special privileges over everybody else because these tickets are, fair and square. Everyone has a chance to get these.
Right. And it proved it.
And we exactly. Like, I would have tried anything I can to get it myself, but I wasn't gonna sit here and like, I'm getting an email from Square Enix, like, because I make videos for this game, I deserve like tickets. No, I was like, I'm just like any other player. I don't deserve any special privileges. If I don't get it, I didn't get it. Simple as that. And a lot of people come to me like, oh, like, you're definitely gonna get an email. I'm like, nah, like I'm not gonna bank on that. We're just people making this is just our job, we don't deserve any special privileges because of that.
Yep.
And I've seen other people go like, go ahead, Arthars.
Go ahead. I think you want to say what I want to say. Yeah.
All right, I'll let you cook in a second. I was like saying like pretty much like people were like, nah, so you guys are like capping. There's no way. I'm like, no, we literally got nothing. I talked to almost every creator I know. It's like we got nothing, and honestly, we don't deserve nothing. We're just people. And that's all I gotta say. Yeah,
I agree.
Go ahead.
Because you see, if anything, right, as content creators, you should know you have a community that would back you up. You already have special privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not official, but you will. Right? Somebody's gonna approach you. Oh, I got a spare ticket. You really didn't get it, but I really want to meet you. Bam, here's one. Surely someone would, like I said earlier in the show, worst case scenario, it might not be immediate, it might not be, you send out a tweet, you ask immediately, you get response. Eventually, someone will be like, oh, wait, you really didn't get one? Okay, here's one. That will be, it will 100%, right? I mean, when the ticket is on sale, obviously, not like, hey, I got a ticket for 5,000. No, not that. Right? So, we know we will get it. That's why I also agree. We don't deserve any special privilege. In fact, it is the guy that is those other normal players that maybe they don't even watch like Twitch. Like, a lot of people always say these content creators should have privilege. Why? Dude, out of those 27 million adventurers, maybe only 27,000 people actually watch Twitch or watch a YouTube video, or obviously more. But we are not everything, Like those people that just play the game for fun, they sign up, they want to win a lottery ticket, they also want to go and meet their FC mates. Doesn't need to be meet my favorite content creator. No, they just want to meet their friends. Maybe people they play with for the last 5 years but never meet before in real life, stuff like that. Those people actually, they should be the one being like taken care of. We will be taken care of by our community already, right? Those little ones that I think
little ones.
They deserve it more than us.
Okay. No, I think Sly. You know what? I want to hear from you a little bit too. If you have anything you want to throw in there. Sorry, I haven't given the mic to you two. Yeah.
Oh no, it was
Let 'em
fine.
cook.
Like I was just gonna go back to Arthur's point with the whole companies and how they kind of look out from beyond the internal communities. Like Square Enix, like usually like there'll be a handful they look to, and then after that they'll start reaching out to people who maybe everybody in the Square Enix or Final Fantasy community may not be familiar with. Atlas does the same thing too all the time. And when it comes to events like this, like I kind of appreciate that too a little bit, because it allows companies to bring in people into the community and introduce your community to new people and let them kind of blow up and everything. So I'm kind of glad about that. One thing I would one, I guess, small detriment is when in regards to just content or news or anything like that, like going to a press conference or things like that. That's kind of where it kind of skews a little bit, because like most people tend to already have their already made up their mind, have their own little like handful of people they follow. Like they can follow Arthars, they can follow Happy, they can follow Xeno, and go to them for whatever news, and they're expecting that news. And then come to find out they didn't get invited to the press conference. Why? Because like they invited somebody else, and they might not even be interested, like be 100% interested in the game. It might be a rock paper shotgun scenario from like the last fan fest, like, and they got in instead of Arthars, shit like that. So there's one little bit where it not being as insular with your community, with your gaming community, might be to your detriment.
Yeah. And I will say, like, even like in situations kind of recently too, like there was stuff where I'm used to getting like interviews and stuff, and I didn't get an interview for some things, and that was like, holy shit, this was a really big deal. And I took it, mildly personally for a bit. Then I thought about it, it's like, now this other person's gonna make Final Fantasy a lot more money than I'm gonna make them.
Yeah.
So maybe that makes complete sense, and it's okay. Sometimes that stuff's gonna happen, right? And I'm just gonna have to accept that kind of stuff. I'm not Asmongold, guys. I don't know if you guys know that, but I'm
Really?
I'm not.
That was the
Asmongold.
best.
Yeah.
That was actually the best. That was actually the best person that they could have. Dude, it will be weird. It will be a missed opportunity if they did not get Asmongold to the fan fest. Like seriously, like that is such a smart move by Square Enix. That is all business.
Yeah.
That is not them
Yeah.
cloud chasing or anything. That is pure business. It was an opportunity. They should take it. They took it. It was too good already. Yeah, it was fucking well. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And we got to kind of accept that too, and just kind of still do what we do. And, in those situations, sometimes back in the day, it was different. There was not as many Final Fantasy XIV creators out there. There's not as many people. There was not as much reach out there for Final Fantasy XIV. Like before Shadowbringers, like during Stormblood, even like Heaven's Ward, all that stuff. Like small content creators were like, in that little group a little bit more. But at some point, there is a limit, right?
Yeah.
It can only fit so many people. And Final Fantasy has had a boom over the last few years.
Oh yeah.
Since the last FanFest even. And so it's just a different world we live in now. But yeah.
Out of curiosity, like just now I think Frosty talk a little bit. I wanted to ask you guys' opinion as well. What do you? I never been to FanFest, right? Frosty obviously went to multiple. Sly went to multiple. What do you guys expect? Usually when you guys go to FanFest, what do you guys expect? Like when you are there, you're like, "Pooh, okay, this is why I'm here. This is what I'm doing it for." What?
Strippers. No, I'm just throwing that out there. We're in Vegas, who knows? No.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I don't know what to expect, because this is actually my first ever like con. Like I've never been to a con ever.
Same.
Really?
Yeah.
Both of you?
But dude, we don't drink, we don't go to cons. That's just the Asian lifestyle. That's just what we do.
Oh, stop it! Shut up.
No, I just never been, and I think what I'm expecting is like a lot of meeting people. Like There's a lot of, even though we know a lot of people didn't get in, we all have a lot of viewers in the community who are gonna like excited to meet us, and it's just gonna be a lot. I think we're gonna be exhausted, dude. I'm gonna be very exhausted, and then mentally thinking about it, I'm very kind of like afraid to meet everybody and kind of disappoint everybody to the point where we're not gonna be able to see everyone, you know? And that's kind of something I'm kind of like afraid about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Okay.
And I'll get to that in a second. But as far as like everything else, like content wise, what you're gonna expect, day one, of course, you know, opening ceremony, trailer, whatnot, everybody sitting down, yeah, all that jazz. As far as like the FanFest content, like going around doing the challenge, whatever little mini games they have, you know, few little bit of lines. Merch should be organized. You won't have a line for that. If it's like last time, you will order your merch in advance. They'll give you a time. You go pick it up. That's that. No line whatsoever. As far as, you know, meeting people, you are a content creator. Both of y'all are pretty popular content creators. You're going to meet people wherever the fuck you go. Like, you will get stopped. You will get stopped. And my thing and Happy's thing is like, we can't say no. Like, we can't say no. Like, I mean, this might be their only chance. So like, I will stop for anybody and everybody, like much to my detriment, much to me needing to get some food or trying to get a beer. Like, that's fine. Like, I don't care. I'm there for a good time. And I'm there like to see all of y'all and like the community in chat. So yeah, don't worry about that. You think you won't have time? Nah, bro. You're gonna get it everywhere you go.
Actually,
but yeah, outside the con, you know, it's Vegas. Like, go do Vegas shit. Like, go to
what is Vegas shit though? Yeah,
I only know Vegas shit in the movies.
Yeah,
you just go to a casino and you sit at a roulette table. That is literally.
I don't know. That scares me. That's spending money and gambling. I don't gamble.
Go to pick a chef's restaurant. Gordon Ramsay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. There's that. All the restaurants. If you want to gamble. Okay. Be safe about it. You know, put aside a little bit of money to gamble. Don't dip after you've lost that money. That's it. As far as like entertainment, I mean, it's Vegas. What are we talking about? It's Vegas.
Sly, what are you trying to reference here on this show? This is just like an every. I have the stream on everyone. So no. Look, so I have multiple perspectives of doing FanFest. Because the first FanFest I went in 2014. And I don't know, Sly. I don't know. Were you streaming back in 2014?
Yeah, I was just starting, but yeah.
I did no streaming. I had no presence at all. I was not a content creator in any means. I just went because my wife was like, let's go, this will be fun.
I remember Babyface Frosty's photo from 2014. I remember that photo.
Do we got a photo of that? I want to see that one.
he has it somewhere.
I had to go look it up, but yeah, no. I was there with my wife, and it was just an experience we were doing together. We had no one that we could really meet up. We had no like friends to go with us. It was just the two of us. And so there was a Reddit group, a Reddit thread that was going, and a handful of people were like, hey, you know, can we get some people to just hang out with and just, you know, do some of the events together and speed through some of the stuff? And we did that. We met with some of them, you know. It was probably my first con, to be honest with you. It was probably one of the first cons I've ever been to. And so I went and the very first, I'm going to go ahead and admit, 2014, the special. It was special because it was never done before for Final Fantasy. We had no clue. There was no format. There was no real like structure of what was going to happen. I mean, I think we had books and stuff like telling us the schedule and everything, but we didn't know what that was going to look like. And I remember getting up from the seat and like, I don't know, trying to get into the merch line or do something else real quick. And then I was walking down the hallway and then all the lights got really dark. And then like the trailer for Heavensward came on and a dude walking through the snow with his axe and then slowly dropping it down. The crowd was freaking the fuck out. It was insane. And then all the animations with the Dragoon and everything else. And like it was the energy in that room was the highest energy I've felt in a very long time. And then right afterwards, everyone's talking about it. Everyone's having these conversations. You hear everything is FanFest, Final Fantasy, FanFest stuff. And it is such an insane feeling that every single person in that room will have lots of stuff they're excited to talk about in a game that you play that you're very familiar with. And so that was the biggest thing to me. And then after that, going and just doing little things around the room, and you're like, hey, they have the little spin the wheel, do a challenge. You might get a little bonus pin or a little pack or something with it, and whatever. They have a handful of just activities to do in that room. And then after, we were like, hey, let's step away. We went to some restaurants. We were like, hey, let's do the casino thing. Let's find the cheapest gambling we can, the lowest bids that we could. And we did that for a while, which is nice. Gambling is an addiction, and you guys, there could be some issues that come along with it. But if you can gamble and you're fine, and Yoshi will be on the table sometimes too, by the way. That's the craziest
No,
thing.
he's not usually at the slots. He's usually at the slots. He just likes to, have his drink, have a smoke, and just be at the slots, just chilling with the shades on.
I'll be camping the slots to see him then.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, in the previous FanFest, it was always in a casino. Now it's not in it. It's kind of close to one, but it's not in a casino. It's in the convention center, so
it's
it is a
connected
little
to
bit.
the Westgate.
Yeah, it's
connected
close
to the Westgate,
but it's not like in it. It's like a whole. It's like it's a separate building. But like you go sit at a roulette table, do low 50-50 odds just constantly, and you just sit there. They bring you drinks, and you're like, here's a tip, and you're just basically hanging out, hoping something works out. Okay, if it does, cool. If not, then all right, you get beers and you hang out with friends, and that's literally the experience outside of it. If you wanted to do any of that level of stuff, you just have to be mindful, right?
Right.
Just realize what you're doing, and usually that's how I've always treated gambling. It's just like you're going out with friends and drinking for $100, and if you lose $100, oh well. You were out with your friends drinking. If you gain $100, hey, even better. So that's how it usually is outside of the event itself. But I mean, you will want to make time to schedule dinners with friends if you're going, and there's a lot of groups of people out there that you're able to actually hang out with and just do things outside socially. Then in 2016, I went as just a content creator. And that was the most surreal experience in my entire fucking life, because there has not been a day that people have come up to me and recognized me, but hey, and just randomly like an autograph and everything else. We don't get that feeling, guys, outside of FanFest. We're not important.
Dude,
we're nobody
that's
outside
the
of
thing,
this
man.
game.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I'm 42 years old already. You know what I mean? For my whole life, right? When I was playing Final Fantasy 11, dude, every time when Final Fantasy 11 had a FanFest, I tell myself, dude, I want to be there. I want to see how it is. I'm not even a content creator. I'm just a player. I'm just a random player. I just want to be there. I want to soak in all this experience, soak in all this atmosphere, as a player. Because how many times can you go to a convention? You go to this convention, you go to a convention. Usually just very generalized, right? You are there for one thing, not for all the things. Yeah, maybe you're like a full-on week. Maybe this convention have everything that applies to you. Great. But usually, you go to this generic convention, it's just a percentage of something that you are there for, right? But like for a Final Fantasy 14 or a Final Fantasy like FanFest, like I said, even 11, it's like you are there just for that. The people you meet there are 100% going to be relevant of what you do and what you stream, like now stream and what you play for, right? Even in game, on stream, whatever, it's purely the game. So back then, obviously, I don't have the money to fly there, to go there. And also, Final Fantasy 11 FanFest is like a lot smaller. It's usually just a theater, maybe 1,000 people max. So it's like, I've been dreaming about wanting to go. I want to meet the producer. I want to meet the developer. I want to see whether I can meet people on the forum, BG forums, stuff like that, right? So then it didn't happen. Change of game. It's in NA. I'm just a small player. I don't have the money. I have a family already. I can't go to all these things. It never really ring the bell or never really think about it. It is only until recently I'm like, dude, if I have to go to one FanFest, it has to be now. Now or never. Dude, I'm 42. What happened to the next FanFest? I'm 45. I'm 50. You know what I mean? Like, it's just gonna snowball from there, right? So like this time I want to go to FanFest. I want to experience that. Like just all the things I told you about, like in 11, I want to experience that. But this time it's going to be different because now I'm a content creator. I'm a streamer. And all these things that you guys are telling me, it seems like now I cannot it doesn't seem like I'm able to go there just like as a player. That raw experience is
could.
going to be more than that.
If you wanted to, the way that you do that is get a full cosplay.
Oh, wear disguise.
I was gonna say cosplay, yeah.
And I've thought about doing that before. Just get an elegant cosplay, and everybody be like, "Hey, that's cool." But past that, you just walk around and do whatever you want. You just have like the full elegant robe, whatever it is, the science stuff, and you just walk around and you're fine.
You see,
go ahead.
It's a lot of fear as well, right? Like, what if I cannot manage that? What if I don't expect that? It's one thing to sit on stream and shit talk to a couple of hundreds of people versus actually seeing the people. And that's the second thing.
Yeah.
Over the last 10 years, 6 years streaming, you guys all know, right? The content that I put out, if you call that content, is very controversial, right? Sometimes I shit on people, sometimes I yell at people. What happens is somebody just come up to me and be like, "Hey, Arthars, hey, what's up?" And then he pop me in the face, you know what I mean? Like, I'm scared of stuff like that, Then I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, this fan fest is gonna be, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what is gonna happen there. I don't know what type of experience I'm gonna get.
In that sense,
player way or creator way,
Yeah, in that sense, I feel that. But last time I was on MogTalk, yeah, go ahead, Sly.
I was saying, like, I kind of feel like the community is good at policing itself. So you probably wouldn't experience shit like that. If you did, like, first of all, whoever did it was gonna get kicked out. They just wasted $200. So just to punch Arthars, good for them. So yeah, like I wouldn't be too worried about that. I mean, most of the time what ends up happening is that, the people who are really don't like y'all or angry with y'all are keyboard cowboys. They will do it only over the keyboard. If they are in your face, they probably won't. They are probably as harmless as a fucking fly. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about the tension that you created in content creation. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
you could.
Yeah,
fam.
Good.
And then I was also gonna say that, like, at most, I think people just straight up avoid you. If they see you, they'll just not be near you.
Yeah.
And last time I was on MogTalk, it was with Llama and Frosty was there, surprisingly, and they were saying when it comes to FanFest, it's in harmony. People are here for the game. We love the game, and people just tend to just all fall in love with the game and not really focus on the hate. So if they're wrong, then I'm gonna have to pop them. But
no. So
we'll see.
I will say, there was that weird message someone put up there about a gun threat or some other threat or something like that, right? I think all kind of conventions kind of have that at some level. And it is something to be taken seriously. It is something to be like, hey, we need to be serious about making sure people who are coming to this event are safe. And they do take procedures, and there is always that aching concern. There's that one person who hates you. I've had people say, I just want to punch you in the face. I don't know why. I just hate you as a person. I hate that you exist. I've had some really nasty stuff. And I think even before, the PvP community was pretty rough, and I was doing a lot of stuff with PvP. And there were flat out people who hated me and just couldn't stand me. I'm still here, fortunately enough. But like there is like all this other stuff where most people who are going for themselves. They're not going to get a vendetta fulfilled or take out revenge or anything else. They want to go there, have a good time, spend time with friends. There's always that risk that there is someone that is just mentally unstable that's out there that could cause a problem. And that stuff, I think that is literally a risk walking down the street. It's not always going to be like you could have someone just. I remember seeing who was the guy that made all those movies. What was his name? Like it was in Ghostbusters. He stopped acting for like 20 years to take care of his kids or something.
Brendan Fraser?
No, not Brendan. Not Brendan Fraser.
Oh,
guy from the Honey I Shrunk My Kids.
I know.
Rick Moranis?
Yeah, Rick Moranis.
No.
There was a video of the guy just walking down the street and someone just knocked him out for no reason at all and just hit him. There is possibility of people like just doing bad things to do bad things. And so, just always try to be safe. I would even say just if you're drinking, make sure you get your own drinks and all that other stuff. Like all those different things, right? And so, but I have out of all the times that I've been so far, I haven't had anything drastically horrible happen to me. I've heard at least people going up and saying horrible things to content creators or saying bad things to them and everything else every once in a while, but it's not really that much. I think that literally everything else drowns any of that out because you're all focused on hanging out with your friends that you never see, but they're on the internet all the time, right? You're with them all the time, but actually being able to hang out with them and do stuff with them in this once every 2 year, this time every 4 year situation is actually a pretty big deal, and that should usually be the focus. Some of my best moments were going out and having a Japanese barbecue with just a group of friends and just drinking. Who was it that we went with that one time, Sly? We went with it was Northern Lion and his wife.
Yeah, it was Northern Lion and his girlfriend. Yeah,
it was my wife. I was there, and me and Northern, we were drinking, and I'm pretty sure we were not paying attention, spitting food like all over the place and everything, and just having a good old time. And so that was like, those kind of moments are really great. And then when you're out on the floor as a content creator, I'm saying this for the people on the show mostly, right? As a content creator out there, I've only usually had good experience. Every once in a while you get something a little bit awkward and weird, but you just need to kind of like give the few seconds and then move on afterwards. And it's weird because, again, I want to remind everybody watching the show, we're not famous actors, right? We don't have this as a regular day-to-day experience where we're doing it. This is some of the content creators that you guys might meet have no clue how to handle that kind of attention. I mean, usually I don't, right? And so it's not going to always be a normal situation. You have to leave some level of, hopefully tolerance and some level of acceptance that it might be a little bit awkward or weird, but it's okay because we're all hanging out and we're just trying to have a good time, and this is just a special moment for everyone. And I think most people are not going to mind you walking up and saying, hi, love your stuff, great, have a quick conversation and just whatever, go on.
So what is the chance though? This one is the one that I'm actually most, out of everything, this is the one most important thing that I want to go to FanFest and has to be done. What is the chance of actually able to talk to Yoshi P?
So, okay.
Ooh, good one. That's good.
Sly, do you want to, you take that?
Yeah. Now, like, as far as like a one-on-one, not sure.
I mean, it's like maybe just on the floor you catch him able to say something.
I think it's high.
Not like on the floor, or okay, because here's the thing. Even though like no content creators got like preferential treatment or anything, or there is a chance for interview / Q&A like with all the other content creators and all the other media. Whatnot, there's a chance for that. As far as like on the floor, good luck. You're hell, you'd probably find Soken more than you would find Yoshi P. Because
See, that's the thing, right?
He's out there. Yoshi P's out there too, but like he's just busy doing Yoshi P things.
Yeah.
So,
see what I mean? That's the thing, right? Because like able to get in as like I mean, maybe there's a Q&A with the media. Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not gonna get that.
Right.
Like we talked about that earlier in the show already. The connection, the limited amount, the number of people, the one that would be more beneficial to be there for them to answer the question that will be, bringing back and widespread to more people other than us. Like my chance is already diminishing already, you know what I mean? Like how can I get a chance, to like even talk to him a little bit, right? That's the one thing. Like all this media tour that you guys go to, no disrespect or anything, I don't give a shit about the 2 tips that you guys bring back. I don't give a shit about the video that you guys put out. Oh, I managed to pick this out from the remote station from my home. I don't give a fuck. All I care, right, is that chance to ask Yoshi P something or say something to Yoshi P. That's the only thing I care.
What would you want to say to him though? What's the thing you really want to say?
What would your question be?
I don't even know what I would say. Yeah.
So
I've been thinking about this for years already, about what I'm gonna say to him. Like I said, man, if I see Yoshi P, it's gonna be nothing to do with the game. It's just gonna be how. I don't even know how to put it together now that you suddenly ask me. It's just about.
I'm prepping you.
I'm 42. How I'm here. I'm able to like meet the people around here, but most importantly, can see the guy that changed my whole life.
True.
You know what I mean? When at that point when I'm 35 years old, before I started streaming, I'm just a player. I just log in to play the game. Never would I thought that today, 7 years later, number one, people actually watch me. Number two, the title content creator is even slapped on my. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not just about the game. It's how And he's the one that he's the reason why I play Final Fantasy 14 1.0. You know, when Tanaka was taken over, it was a fucking shit show, right? It was only until the 4th live letter. It's not even the live letter. It was the 4th producer letter on the forum that I was reading it the first time. I'm like, wow, this guy does seems like he might be doing what he's doing. All my friends are asking me, when are you going to play Final Fantasy 14? I'm like, no, the game is trash. I'm not going to play Final Fantasy 14. It is only until I look at his live letter, you know, he was saying that he lay out all the problems of the game. You know, he was saying that he needs a job system. He's going to create a new primal, existing dungeon, Dresmo Dark Hole. He's going to be revamped. He's going to come up with AVCC, new ways. I'm like, this guy seems to know what he's doing. I just took the leap of faith, you know, going from 11 after 12 years into 14 brand new. And then you see from then until today, it's just like, you know, like, although on stream, I always say that if I see Yoshi P, I'm gonna limit cut. If I see Yoshi P, I'm gonna shit on him. If I see him, man, dude, it's gonna be. I don't even know what to say, man. Yeah.
You just be very
Something
appreciative.
like that, you know what I mean?
So let me.
Yeah.
I would cry. Yeah, I would cry.
I think I will. I'm serious.
I have a handful of interactions with Yoshida. So.
Did you cry?
He's gonna sign this.
The first time, I didn't even care. I'm going to be honest. It was pretty bad. It was during 2014, and I wasn't very familiar with everyone going on there. But he was just standing at like an area, and just there's a line of people for free.
Wasn't it?
It was the pool.
It was the pool. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I was there too.
my wife and I were sitting there in line, and my wife took a picture, and they're like, "Hey, you want a picture too?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." And I just left. Because I just
little did you know.
Little did I know how, like, you know what the situation really was like. Also during 2014, you know, I think I saw a panel of the battle designers and everything else, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Then went to Starbucks, and I was sitting there, and then in line, the battle designers come down, walking down the hallway. I'm like, oh, hey, cool. I put my hand out, high five them and everything. Then they turn around and stand behind me in line for Starbucks, and I'm just like, this is really awkward. I don't really know what to do here. Do I let him pass me? Do I just like, do I have a conversation? Do I try to like start? I know there's like probably not a translator right next to me to really help with anything. Yeah. And so like, Arthars, you're in a completely different situation than I am, because you could actually have a conversation without a translator, right?
Yeah.
But like, in my situation, I was just like kind of starstruck. It was kind of awkward and weird. And then in 2016, I was able to do, you know, conversations because of the press event that they allowed me in, and everyone gets a question or whatever else, and they try to like go out there and let everybody ask whatever they want to ask. Usually they're like, hey, please talk about the expansion, please talk about these things that are, you know, relevant towards what we're doing here at FanFest, and so on, or about Final Fantasy 14. Don't ask me about Final Fantasy 16 kind of stuff, maybe, like, right? And so that's the other opportunity, and every single time he's been like amazing to talk to. And then at the media tour, I was able to sit down with him one-on-one and ask a series of questions, right, back and forth, which was really good. And I think that was where I learned about Chocobo Racing, and how there's no developer that's assigned to it in any way at all, and that guy's moving on to the rating team. So that's why that's still in the situation it's in. But I've also worked on stage at some of these events. Yeah. And I've had the chance to see Yoshida behind stage and talk to him. And he's literally just as legitimate as he is when you talk to him in person. And you can see Soken every once in a while behind stage going crazy, like doing his thing, just being really excited and having fun. He's just a high energy guy that's just trying to bring a smile to everyone's face. And so, like, every single time, it's low. Usually, there's a couple of translators you'll probably recognize. Amy's the one that I am most, yeah, that's right, that I think I'm the most familiar with, that will be around him, and you'll just ask questions and do a quick back and forth real quick, and then usually let him move on, because you can't keep him there all the time, right? You only have so much time. But I mean, usually you can always ask a question, and I guarantee you, Arthas, he knows who you are, and he's willing to have like a question or two with you, right?
I don't know, man. We'll see.
Don't sell yourself short.
I hope he doesn't know me. I'm scared. I'm actually scared. What if he sees me and says, holy shit, and he turns around and run, man? Like, what the fuck?
What if he's the guy who socks you, man?
No. in no way.
Okay, so Zeno himself, right, has said things too. He's been in those kind of situations, might be kind of controversial every once in a while, but at a media tour for Shadowbringers, he had a one-on-one conversation with Yoshida too.
Yeah, but that's media tour. You see what I mean?
Well,
That's
even
different.
there's media
I
tour
see what
like
Arthars is
stuff
saying,
here. Yeah, there are sets where they allot questions out to certain media outlets and everything, and every once in a while there's a chance there. But out on the floor and everything else, if he recognizes you as a content creator, he's probably willing to give you a question or two, or a quick one-on-one with him. I mean, I wouldn't say please sit down for a 30-minute, hour-long interview. But I mean, if you want to say whatever you want to say, he's going to listen to you. And he's going to try, as long as there's a translator nearby, right? At least that would be great. So sometimes he doesn't need it, but it just helps clarify things and make sure he fully understands what you're talking about. But you don't need a translator at the same time, so maybe you could just skip that whole point too. If you see him, he's willing to answer questions too.
More time to ask. Yeah.
So I would go with that, and don't be shy about it. But you know, take your chance to ask him a question. I'm sure he would be happy to.
I mean, if you have your question.
If it was Ko, he wouldn't care. If it's Arthars, it's okay.
I'll be real. I don't think he knows me. I'm like the new guy in the block. I don't do high-end raids. I'm mostly like the American audience knows, not the English audience knows me, but I don't think like international, like elsewhere. I don't think I'm really known. I'm not a big
surprised.
raider.
He has a pretty decent like.
He pays attention.
I'm surprised he knows who I am too. Right? It's weird.
You're MogTalk, so like
the world race
different
helps a little
MogTalk,
bit, but like it's kind of amazing that like he has some level of acknowledgement that I exist. So I can guarantee that he does know a lot of content creators, at least has knowledge of them.
I'll explode if he knew me. I'll be like, oh my god.
If he says little son to you, how would you feel?
If he says little son, I'd wear that as a badge of honor at that point. I'd be like, I've made it. I don't even care what you guys say anymore. You can't hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I'm here. I've made it. Yeah.
But okay. Yeah. So don't worry about that too much. I mean, the FanFest is going to be, again, is a different event for content creators, to be honest with you. It's a different scenario. But just go try to have fun. You know, go with your friends, hang out with them and everything else. I mean, Zeno and I talked over by ourselves, and people wouldn't just like come over and barge in every once in a while. We just had straight up conversations, went out and went around Vegas a little bit, you know, one night too. And it's just, people are usually pretty respectful. But it is a different feeling going as a content creator.
Are you guys all like there for both days, obviously, because we got the tickets, but are you also there for the concert as well?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I gave up on the concert. I'm gonna be honest.
You didn't get one?
I didn't get one, but I didn't try either, because it was a scenario where I was like, this is what I have planned out and set. I'm gonna return home to my family. My wife is going to, you know, have to take care of my daughter by herself for a day or so, or like, and I know that's gonna be. I'm just gonna go back and make sure that everything's okay. Because I don't know, it could be a rough weekend, could not be a rough weekend. Maybe she'll go with me, and then we'll have our friends help with our daughter. We'll see how that goes. But if it's a situation where she's staying here, I can't wait. I felt bad waiting another day, because I mean, it's at night probably when I would be able to go, and then I wouldn't go back until Monday. And so I felt pretty bad about that situation, especially when I was working before and I couldn't really afford that time. It's a little bit different now in this scenario if I continue on this path, right? And so that is, I decided against it. Although the concert is something that you guys should definitely see. I didn't realize how like involved Yoshida was going to be with that concert too. I thought maybe they would fly out, but no, they're going to be hanging around during the whole concert too.
You see, like if this is just a concert in some place at a random day, there's no way I'm going. Like, you know, just the same as like they say for the media tour, like, just for one day, no way, right? Like in Singapore, sometimes we have distant worlds, right? But it's like, they will come around again. It is specifically this one that I really want to go, because I'm already flying out. I'm already there for the whole week. I'm already there for FanFest. What's another one more day, right? So I told my wife, any other day I would have one. Any other day I would have cat. But this particular one, it's like a plus 1 day, and it's not just myself. So, hey, you know, you don a suit, you go to a concert. No, it's like everybody else will be there, and they will be there 2 days before, and then most of them will be there for their concert day. So I made sure that I really, like, this one is the one that I don't want to miss, you know? So I'm glad, you know, we get tickets. Might be bad tickets, I don't know, but who cares, man? Just gonna go there and enjoy myself.
I might.
The playlist, though, the playlist looks sick, though.
I might reconsider
I haven't
it,
seen it,
but
yeah.
like I would have to be able to
Oh.
get tickets at this point too.
Yeah, I was like, it's kind of
hard. Yeah, at this point, like if I could
I'm
get
currently
in,
playing
maybe.
Ticket Tetris right now. I'm trying to get one, so hopefully by tomorrow I'll know if I have one.
Good luck to both you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm not going to make a huge effort, but if there's an easy way to do it, then maybe I would do it. But I'm just gonna let it play out the way it plays out. A lot of the really neat thing is that what that also means is that while the event's happening on Friday and it's happening on Saturday, there's going to be a lot of people who are still around Sunday. And so a lot of time of just hanging out with friends and doing stuff, you could do that Sunday, which would be the more exciting part to me, and then leave a little bit later. Because you're not going to be tied up with going and seeing panels or do anything else. You would just be dedicating your time to spending time with friends. So I might stay a little bit longer just to do that a little bit, even if I don't get a ticket to the orchestra, and that doesn't play out like in an easy way for me, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the orchestra, I would recommend it. Because the Final Fantasy 14 concerts, or just Final Fantasy concerts in general, are absolutely amazing. You're going to get two automatically. One at the end of Friday, one at the end of Saturday. And I could tell you, that first Primals concert was literally the most insane thing I've ever been to, ever. Because, again, I don't think the Primals were really even a big thing, or even doing much. They kind of created it there, and that was like their first big show. And then, Stoken going up there and just like screaming "fuck you, Titan" into the mic, just like as he's singing it. It's just like it's an experience, man. And that was like after, like, when Titan back in A Realm Reborn. That was a spicy fight, man.
Can't raise if you fall off. Yeah, tough stuff.
So a lot of people were attached to that fight in many different ways. So it was a really great experience. But yeah, seeing the Primals is amazing. And seeing the piano concert was also really great. Just kind of hang out and chill and just soak it in.
Good one.
I see what you did there.
I didn't intend to do it, but it worked out. So okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know if that answers all your questions, Arthars. I don't know if you have more.
Yeah.
I
just a few months away, man.
Yeah, soon. Wait. Quick question. This is gonna be stupid. Is it June or July? I don't even know the day. I've been out of the loop. I'm not gonna lie. I've been like, oh, it's happening. I got my ticket.
It's the end of July. End
of July. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I got
27, 28, 29, 28, 20.
I'd have to look at it to figure out.
I'm like, do you even know others?
Yeah.
I was gonna say for you guys. Wait, are we wrapping up things or?
No, we got a little bit. We got another hour, a little bit over hour. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I guess what's the besides obviously Yoshi P, who's the other person you're looking forward to seeing at the FanFest events and stuff? Like, is it another fellow content creator? Keiko? I want to see Keiko too. I love her piano. Oh my gosh.
First of all, I love her piano, so that's not the only reason. Secondly, I'm wearing a shirt. I'm wearing a shirt with the Keiko concern face. If you see it in chat.
Nice.
You have it printed and ready to go? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna have that ready to go. I'll be wearing that at the concert, and I just want to get a picture of Keiko in the shirt. And yeah.
What you have to do is you have to get like a shirt where you cover it up, and then when you see her, just rip it off and just like.
And then she'd give you an even more concerned face. Yeah. I'm sure she'd give you even more concerned face.
Do that. That would be like a meme too. Please do that.
Oh God, yes.
Just make sure you have someone ready to take a picture of that moment, because that's going to be an interesting moment. But yeah, no. I for myself, just literally, I mean, I'm excited to, talk and see any development team at all. But it really comes down to the other content creators that I'm more excited to see, to be honest with you. And even like the community team members, like I love seeing those guys. They're a great time. I love talking to them. And even I guess I only get to speak to Amy every time I do we go to FanFest, but I always say hi to her and hang out with her, or it's like spend a little bit of time having a conversation with her every once in a while, because she's just a really cool person. And I think that would be most of my anticipate it, people. If
Okay.
that makes any sense.
I think for me, I'm ready to see Soken. I actually have this like idea, like I'm gonna recreate his outfit from the last FanFest digital one, where he's like wearing the full white, has the 2
White suit.
automatons. Yeah, I was gonna like wear that, and I wanted to meet him and just see like what he would say about like this guy went all out to look like me or something. So that's what I
He's gonna
want
have
to try
his
to do.
constant. He's gonna have his constant look. Then you can make an emote.
Yeah, that's the hope. We're gonna see. Yeah. Other than that, like I guess other content creators are going. It's weird because it's like obviously we don't know Happy's going. We know Happy's not going, but like
He'll change his mind and he'll go.
No,
last
he
second he goes. No, I don't even know like for sure who's going, who's not, because I know that Sly's our mutual Lena's not going apparently, but Sly's going, and it's like a huge mix of we're just not sure. I'm not sure who's for sure going or not, and yeah, just gonna have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. Don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know for sure on everyone. I know at least
Yeah.
the ones on this call, right? And so that's as much as I know. I know Xeno's going, right? And you know, a handful of the crew with Xeno's going as well. But there's gonna be a lot of cool people that are gonna be there. And I mean, honestly, a lot of people, Twitch viewers are gonna be there.
Oh yeah.
So there's that. Gosh, I'm trying to remember who all because there was a lot of like concern from content creators. I don't if you guys remember, a lot of people were like, "I'm probably not gonna go. I don't know how I'm gonna get out there," and everything else. And then there's a lot of silence after that. Like I feel like it just kind of stopped for a bit, and I don't know if that's because people got tickets or because the situation was just let go or what that was. But I guess it's worthwhile just trying to like figure out everyone that's going. And I know there's also a lot of people who are like concerned about like content creator drama. I don't think that's
See, that's the thing. Okay, okay. Answer the question first first, right? Before we go into it. Obviously, I want to see Soken. I mean, Yoshi P, Soken, Aimee. These are the 3 main people. Like, and the battle development team. Whoever it is. Whoever will be there, I don't know, right? Yeah, those are the people I really want to meet in terms of like the 14 team, right? But in terms of everybody else, obviously Frosty, obviously all of you, like all the content creators, if I can meet every single one of you, I will, and I think we will, 100%. We will see one another for sure, right?
Yeah.
It's just how much time we can spend together, right? Yeah. Like I'm most likely gonna be hanging out with Xeno Violent, but here's the thing, man. Xeno, right? Is gonna be fucking swamped. There is no way Xeno is gonna have time. Even if Xeno wants to hang out with us, even if we plan things together, I'm telling you, man, like at least on the floor, there is no way we are gonna get to do anything with Xeno. At least that's what I think. That's what
it's gonna be the same for you,
no
dude.
way.
It's gonna be the same for you.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Sasuke,
I don't know. We'll see.
you're
I don't know.
popular. Come on.
I don't know. Oh, yo, speaking of Sasuke, I'm thinking, right? Should I just bring my wig there? You know,
bring it. Yeah.
I should bring my wig, and then I will be left alone. You know what I mean? Then I can be invisible, right?
No, everybody will recognize you.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I should bring the wig.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's for sure bring the wig. No maybes. Do it.
Yeah. And I mean, like I get away with a lot. Like I'm not that popular, so I get a chance to walk around a good bit, and kind of just hang out and do my own thing. And I don't know. I don't expect too much myself, and so it's there. It happens. It'll exist. But at the same time, I do get the little bit of freedom of walking around and hanging out with groups of people without being bothered too much. I don't think it's like as what you think though, Arthars. You do get like people coming up, but it's not like screaming, fans running behind you and stuff like that. It's not that. It's just people coming up and saying hi to you. It's people coming up and saying hi to you.
You guys want that? I'll pretend to be a screaming fan for you guys if you guys want to feel good about yourselves.
No.
Sure.
No.
Like I was saying, like I mean, even like in previous days and everything else, you just hang out with your friends, and every once in a while people come up and talk and everything, and you're like, cool. But then you just move on and you just do your thing, and you're just hanging out with your group, and you do have people who come up to you, but it's not like taking up the entirety of your time. Sometimes you could say, hey guys, I'm gonna hang out here, this is dedicated time to just kind of do meet and greet stuff if you want to do it, and some content creators have done that in the past, but for most of the time people are gonna There's only so here's the other thing. There's only 15,000 people, right? So not everyone on the internet is going to be there that follows
I heard
you.
that a lot of people who didn't get tickets, out of the 15,000 people who didn't get tickets, there's still people who are going to go regardless just to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be a
Yeah.
lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, and all you got to do is just go into the event venue and you're safe because they can't go in.
Get away from that.
So-
All right, I see how it is.
No, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I think that I wouldn't be too worried about it, and you won't know until you get there. I mean, I'm not going to know until we get there, for sure either. But I think you're going to have a lot more time to hang out with people than you think, Arthars. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Yeah, I thought you and Xenos were like best friends, so I was like, there's no way you guys are gonna have like 5 minutes with each other or something, right?
No.
Like-
We will do stuff together. It's just
Yeah,
like,
okay.
on the floor, no way. Like, I also don't want to take up all the time, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that travel there, get to see Zeno, get to touch his beard, rub his bald head and stuff like that. I don't know, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're walking around, it's different. I mean, like, when you sit down and eat food, you're hanging out. You're talking, you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
And then, like, you leave, and then, while you're walking, every once in a while, you'll say hi to somebody or whatever else. You get to your spot, then you just do your thing. I had Cleese come up and say hi to me when I was there, and he was really scared to say hi to me because he thought I hated him. So I remember that. It was right after a panel because of the meme with the grass JP and everything. But it was pretty funny.
You had the panel, or like did
No,
you
I didn't
know-
have a panel. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, it was after watching a panel and getting up and leaving. Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, so like, what events are going down? Because we obviously know there's like going to be like some portions where we sit down, watch the team present some kind of trailer or something. Like panels, apparently. are there
Yeah,
too?
panels.
Okay.
There's usually panels. Like opening keynote,
Mhm.
certain panels, cosplay contest,
Right.
possibly Q&A, possible live letter, like probably
yeah,
like
yeah.
an interesting panel about like with the battle team about like some fight. I don't know. They'll probably pick. It won't be top. If it is top, I'll be
Ugh.
amazed. If they like go through top, I'll be amazed.
Ooh.
Either top
Oh,
or
they
DSR.
also they do that thing where it's like a bunch of computers are out, and if you clear a fight, you get a
Yeah,
t-shirt.
it's
that thing too?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They do the there's the battle challenge. There's the not expert fuck like the primal
Extreme.
roulette.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
the
okay.
extreme roulette. Yeah, there's that.
All right.
There's PvP. Probably there will probably be a PvP tournament.
Hey.
And if they don't get Frosty to get back on the mic, they're dumb. But
Oh, it's okay.
Right?
but yeah, there's that.
Mhm.
Of course, the concert. And we don't know if there's going to be like a separate concert from the Eortia Symphony.
There is, I
But-
think. Yeah, the primals? No?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, there's the
Yeah.
Primus one, and there'll be the piano one. I'm fairly
Okay.
confident about that. They didn't. I'm looking at the website right now. They didn't list out all the development panels they'll have, but they'll have development panels. Usually, the battle thing, lore, and just random Q. They'll probably have a Q&A one, depending on how they want to organize that and everything else. Sometimes they let it be open mic. People can come up and ask whatever, but those usually don't always turn out great because people come up to the
Nope.
mic and then they're like, "Hey, why can't we like, paint our shoes
Why don't we
a
have
certain
peaches?
color?" Yeah, why don't
People
we have
ask
peaches?
that?
Yeah,
That's the
No
origin
way.
of like that's what I call Peach's questions. Like whenever they ask something completely out of left field, like
Yeah.
this was like at a PAX. And ever since then I started calling them Peach's questions because like they will ask like the most random thing. And
Yeah,
yeah,
so
like
weird.
what was the one you said, Frosty? Like, why don't we have buckles or something?
yeah, it's
Like,
just weird stuff that like
yeah.
are completely not relevant.
Right.
Yeah.
And like so the concerts, piano performance by Keiko will be there, and then you have the Primals Rock concert. You'll have guest singers Jason Charles Miller and
Yeah.
Amanda Achen?
Akin.
Akin? Amanda Akin? Okay.
Yeah.
Will be there as well. And so that's guaranteed that's going to be in FanFest. Then you have the orchestra after FanFest.
Got it.
So it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of just extra panels. You don't have to make all the panels either. They're just there for people who want to sit down and listen to them and everything else. Most of the time will be spent with hanging out with people. I'm gonna be honest. Completely honest with you. Keynote you don't want to miss. Don't miss the keynote. Don't miss the concerts. The panels are just like, hey, I would like to see this panel because it would be neat to hear the developers talk about battle content or whatever else it may be. They'll have a cosplay contest as well. Again, I know there is some concern about cosplayers getting tickets and going, but we'll see how that kind of turns out as well.
Right. And are we expecting any big trailers or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the review. Yeah, the expansion review.
Yeah, the initial reveal. But here's the thing about that. We're always first. So we don't get everything. We don't get all of it. You just get like the first part.
Like a first
and
part.
then EU will get the second part, and then JP.
We get the biggest review. That's why the NA Fan Fest are always the best one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The NA Fan Fest is always the best one.
You get the shortened trailer, then you get the extended trailer later with EU. But you get the shortened trailer, you get the big preview and everything else. Then job reveals usually happen in other fan fest. Every once in a while, they'll hint at the job reveals during the first
t-shirt.
one. Yeah,
the Yoshi P t-shirt.
Oh, right. You gotta watch out for the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so you'll see that they usually don't reveal too much. Although Blue Mage was released at NA, I think, or revealed at NA, if I remember right.
I love Blue
remember
Mage.
that. That was the most I was like, you just had to be there. It's like Blue Mage, and everybody's like, yeah,
limited job.
Huh?
Yep.
We were all just, everybody was just looking like, what the hell?
Yep. I was watching it live on my stream, and I was like, wow, dude, everybody was instantly from the first day when they say the Blue Mage. I mean, I myself included, right? Blue Mage is like my favorite job in Final Fantasy series. And then on the second day, when they go deeper in and they say it was a limited job, the crowd was just, it was confusion. You can you can hear the confusion. Yeah.
It was pretty interesting. I do hope they have some PvP stuff because PvP's like it needs some energy from Square Enix because they have a mode that a lot of people like. They just need platforms for it. It would be really cool to have that stuff out there too. But yeah, those are the general expectations. And FanFest has been such a successful format that they have literally no reason to change it up. The only thing that was really miserable, I think, was the merchandise. The first couple FanFest that they had a lot of issues with. But then, like in the most recent one, that was in 2018, right? That was perfect. You did pre-orders. You just pre-ordered everything, and then you have to walk up and get it. So it's not like it's a little bit different. So it's not scalping's a lot more difficult to do in those situations. But yeah, you have
people scalp that.
It seems so.
I mean, people might try to like sell stuff or anything. There was one time where, and they will also sell stuff sometimes there as well, right? That will happen. But yeah, you can pre-order a lot of your stuff before you get there, and that way it's not as much of a challenge. They're just like, at this time, come and pick it up. And then you might have a line that you wait in for that time slot, but it's not like a huge ordeal or anything that's going to completely ruin what you're doing. So yeah, that was really fixed. And so again, they have a pretty solid working formula for FanFest. They don't need to change too much up. You may see something that's not, what we would expect, but I can't imagine too much.
Okay. That sounds pretty fun, though. I think the only challenge is, like, meeting everyone at the same time as trying to get to the things that you want to get to, Like, maybe you can miss a panel or two, but, like, who knows if you might miss something juicy during the panel, so...
Are you guys all showing up
speaking
early?
of juicy...
Oh, go ahead.
Speaking of juicy, like, I mean, the last 10 years of Final Fantasy and obviously the last few physical appearances, FanFest, right? Don't really have, like, heartbreaks or anything. These FanFest, we're going into 10 year, we're going into a brand new chapter, right? I was really scared of like upset. Dude, a little bit of me was like thinking, dude, is Yoshi P gonna step down or shit? Yeah, I mean, random thought, right? Random thought. Now, luckily, yesterday at PAX, he said something like he would want to see Final Fantasy for another 10 years, and 10 years later, he want to be back at. He still want to be, at PAX East.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. So at least maybe he wouldn't be.
So, There's a this has happened in a handful of different documentation where they'll like put something in there that's like your regular, hey, if this text doesn't exist anymore, you know it's not true. And so for Yoshida, it's when he comes in, and if you have a moment where there's been a little bit since he said, hey, I'm going to be here forever, then you start to get concerned, but it's such a regular occurrence for him at this point where he's just constantly like, yeah, I'm going to be here for a while. And since he just re-upped that statement, I think we're good.
I think he even said once that like he literally cannot get away. He just loves like developing this game. So I have no doubts he would be here.
But did you see the recent Final Fantasy XI news?
I
That
did
put out
hear
All
about
the
that.
news too much.
You see, like they were saying something like, you know, I mean 11 is almost been ever since PlayStation 2 release. 11 has been almost 20 years already. So there's a lot of developers that they have been stuck. I mean, I wouldn't use the word stuck. They have been with the team for 20 years, and even today they are still, you know, in the team making content. But moving forward, they're gonna shrink down the size of the team. They moving forward, they're gonna compact the patches. It's gonna be more towards maintenance mode than actually try to create something new, because a lot of these creators, developers, they've been in the team for almost 20 years. It's time for them to move on and get opportunity themselves to work in another company, to do another project. They don't want to just make it like 11 is their life, you know what I mean? And also you think about it, right? You look over, right? You are in the same company, you look over. 14 is doing so well, but I'm still here doing 11 stuff. If I got the opportunity, I also want to go work in 14, for example, right? So like a lot of them internally have this like, you know, maybe it's time to move on. Maybe, you know, we should mix around. And then the producer of 11 is also thinking like, you know, at some point they have to consider other people's like option as well. Yeah, you know, maybe new people come in, maybe new developer come in. You know, you can start them off at 11, but you know, all these long-term developer, they should move on. I mean, it's the same for Yoshi P. I mean, I guess Yoshi P moved on a little bit. That's why, you know, he's now making his own Final Fantasy. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong. Maybe it's a different producer. I don't know. Are they the same one?
It's a different guy. Yeah.
Oh, but you see what I mean? You see what I mean? Like,
they're in talks.
At least he's moving on a little bit, but at some point, man, like as much as we like Yoshi P to forever do 14 stuff, but you gotta think, if he ever want to make himself even bigger than he is, if he ever want to try, let's just say, for example, he wants to, I mean, I think he said this a lot of times as well. Let's just say if he were to open his own studio, let's just say he want to make his own MMORPG, this is the best chance for him. Is he really gonna sit here and, you know, he's like what, almost 50 already? Is he gonna sit here another 10 years? Because if he were to do Final Fantasy 14 another 10 years, that is literally just Final Fantasy 14 already. I don't think he can. You know what I mean? I think that is one worry, right? Is he going to think about moving on, you know? But I guess he's done that a little bit already in 16.
So, 14, they didn't get him for 15, unfortunately. Doing 16. They'll do 17, which is the next MMO, right? So
stop. Now that you had me for a second.
No, he'll be in there for 17. So we're good with that. I'm not too worried when we move on to the next Final Fantasy MMO, which is going to be a VR kind of thing. Hopefully VR will be figured out by then. And Final Fantasy 17 is going to be it'll be the Sword Art Online, I guess, for our time.
Oh yeah.
So don't worry, Arthars, you know, I was worried about a little bit. Don't worry about, you know, age or anything else. As you get older, you're going to still be the same age in the VR headset. So you'll be all right. You don't have to move your body. You inject something in the back of your neck. You'll be okay. Don't worry.
I came into this, like, I believe Yoshi P was going to be here for a long time because he said he loves the game and he's been doing great things. And, you know, I think it's pretty obvious that 14 makes them a lot of money. But now I'm worried, man. You got me worried. I was like, okay, maybe he could leave. I don't know.
He's good for a while. He said
this multiple times as well. At some point, he's going to look for his, I mean, again, right? I mean, this was before he announced 16, you know? He was like, you know, at some point he want to try something different. That was what I think raised a lot of alarm, a lot of worry the very first time when he said this. You know, he want to adventure into something else. He want to do something of his own. He wants to make his own game. Yeah, you know, it would be fun also to, I guess he teased that during the time, would be fun for him to in charge another Final Fantasy project. But at that time, I think he's overlooking like 11 a little bit. So we know that's that. And then it's like, wait a second, is this guy leaving? And then bam, suddenly he's out here doing 16. Then but he did say before though, he has been trying to look for his own replacement as the director producer of 14, but he just couldn't find someone.
Well, for like a director, I think he was trying to find a director. Yeah, a director. Right? Yeah, not like he was going to stay on as producer, but he needs some. Like, he shouldn't be doing two roles. Is basically what he was saying.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the biggest concern. I think. At least that's what I remember of it. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna have any of that. There could be, maybe someone else might, or there could be something. We haven't had any major stuff really happen.
The new
recently.
CEO? Yeah, the new CEO.
Yeah,
There could be
Kiryu.
Well, I mean, it
There's
has a
a
lot of work.
chance Kiryu might show up at FanFest too.
Wait.
'Cause,
So the previous.
Matsuda usually came to FanFest as well, North America.
Yeah.
as well.
So
Yeah.
I was about to say, right? So now the previous. I mean, is he still is he still in charge? Did they already fully, finish the
They
transition?
made the switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
They made the switch.
So that CEO that is always like spoiler. So this time he won't be there at all. I love
No.
that guy.
Yeah. Matsuda was the fun one where he usually came out and threatened Yoshi P with like a
yeah,
Final Fantasy weapon. Yeah.
Aw.
The fun one, he's gone.
Oh
unfortunately.
no. Okay.
Yeah.
So what if this new CEO comes in and
we don't know how Kiryu is gonna treat it. We don't know how fun he is, quote unquote.
yeah, what if
But-
the first time he tries something and then it's cringe as fuck? Wouldn't it be awkward?
Wouldn't it be?
I mean,
okay.
he's all for like NFTs or something.
NFTs.
so
Are
it's
you-
kinda like,
are you guys-
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I'm worried that we might have a Diablo mobile moment.
No.
They already have an
No.
NFT game already in development in works right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's coming. It's coming, and we'll have to see what happens.
I hope
But-
not. They're going to be asking about our cell phones at some point, I'm sure. Okay. No, hopefully not.
Yeah.
Again, they have a very good working format. Hopefully they'll be conscious enough to be able to understand the temperature of the room at this point, and they've seen
Yeah.
the folly of
15,000.
that.
15,000
Yeah.
Yeah.
each time. Ooh.
Because they could upset a lot of people
Mhm.
pretty easily by
Mhm.
just not completely understanding how players kind of view that stuff.
The only thing I'm concerned with is like if this NFT game flops and just costs them money and they have to take out from the 14 coffers again, and I'm just gonna go like no, leave the money and make 14 even better than how it is now. Like just always like invest into that. That's kind of what I want because this game is great and I want to keep
16, and so the Final Fantasy VII remake made them a decent amount of money. I'm hoping, right? I can't remember. It's very
going. I
successful.
think it did well.
For
I think
sure.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Seven is a gold mine. Yeah,
It is.
I am just glad. One or two things about Final Fantasy that within my lifetime that I want to see. Number one, clearly FF7 remake. I am so glad
Me too.
they finally did it and take their time. Even if it means that the next 20, hey, at least I know I get to finish it eventually, right? And then another one would be like what Frosty said earlier, a VR or a full dive version of Final Fantasy game. Yeah, those are the two things that I want to see in my lifetime. At least we
Maybe
got one
happen.
check.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Oh, yeah.
I think there have been a couple of flops. I think recently with Square Enix and a couple of their games and everything else. But Final Fantasy VII brings in money. Final Fantasy 14 constantly brings in money.
16 will as well, yeah.
16
was gonna be
should
a
bring
hit,
in,
Yeah.
as long as it doesn't turn into a 15, right?
Ooh.
But I don't think it will.
I have faith.
Go-
I have faith. Yeah, I have. Then also stop with the 15 hate. Look, I love 15. Stop. For what it was all right. I mean,
15 was great until
It's the
until
marketing.
it wasn't.
the marketing.
It's the way how 8 years later this is what you get. How
Yeah.
8 years later it's published this way. That is the not okay part. But the game itself is.
I mean,
Yeah.
you get to the end, it's just
way,
weird. It's just like, it felt things were missing, for sure. There is no
Right,
doubt
right.
about that. It felt like it was incomplete, missing, and they just cut the cord at some point and tried to throw it at the end and just make it work. It felt like a pretty strong game until it just, like, the end, and you're just like, wait a minute, why am I done with this game? Why did we just rush to an end
Throwing
almost?
over, yeah.
The silver lining though is that finally it's out. Forget about it.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, man, waiting from 13 verses into 15, that 8 years was miserable.
Yeah, I've heard.
I am just glad it's done. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we look forward to 16, and we're going to see what that turns out to be. This year is so freaking crazy, dude. Final
Oh.
Fantasy 16. We have the Diablo 4 coming out, which is already a good game. They fixed whatever was going on, and they're definitely going to sell billions on that.
So Diablo's good? Or
Diablo 4 is good.
I
think
saw some thumbnails and I was like, people were like, "Is it good?" And I was like,
maybe
"Is
to
it?"
get views or something, like hate
Yeah.
views. I don't know. Like I played it as Arthars, you played it.
Yeah,
Good,
Okay.
a solid game.
yeah. I mean, for like, I mean, you think of it like from a casual standpoint, right? So far, so good, But
Right.
at the end, as a Diablo player, it's like, Diablo end gamers look for a way different game than what we are looking at.
Mm-hmm.
They are weird. So yeah, for the end game, let's just see what it is. But I mean, for us, buy and play and experience it. Yeah, so far so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Zelda's coming out.
Zelda. I'm
So
ready
I
for
mean,
that.
there is just like Armored Core. There's like so many
yeah.
like insane games coming out
I'm
this
ready.
year.
7 remake. I mean, not 7 remake. It's not gonna be this.
No, there's nothing.
Obviously, by year end, right? They say what? Winter? So maybe year end or early next year.
I don't
All-
know any concrete news, but
Yeah.
yeah.
All Final Fantasy 14 streamers are going to be big variety streamers this year.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's good,
I'm
though. That's good.
branching
was to
out,
begin
baby.
with anyway, but
We also-
okay.
Yeah.
We also had RE4 come out again, so like that game's looking
Yeah.
really hot. I want to get into that.
Yep.
It is like it
Oh,
is
it's good?
so good.
Yeah,
It
I'm
is
going to be
good.
playing
I
that
can
next
confirm.
week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yay.
you will love it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And even though we only have one more, so we have one more Savage coming up, and then we're gonna see kind of what the rest of this expansion looks like going forward. But a lot of like hardcore raiders and stuff might be like a lot of people who watch the show might be more of a hardcore raider. Big variety of people watch the show, but I know a lot of people focus on the world race and everything else. We have one more of those, right? We have Criterion dungeons that are going to come up that people are going to be a little bit excited for. But we'll have a little bit of a rest before next year, which is when we expect the expansion to come out, which is probably summer, late spring, maybe earliest is kind of my estimate on that.
Earliest, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hopefully they give us a little bit more information at the Fan Fest. I don't know if they'll tell us at NA. They might tell us at EU. But yeah. We'll see. But no, yeah, it's this is a crazy year. And then the Fan Fest is what makes it, more crazy for Final Fantasy because it's been, again, so long
Yeah,
since
two
the Fan Fest
expansions.
has happened. It has been extremely long, and there's gonna be so many people.
2018, right?
Huh?
5 years ago. 2018, right? Is the last one?
2018 was the last one for NA. So and EU was beginning of 2019. So it's been a very long time. So I would say about 5 years, almost at 5 years by the time that NA happens. And so a lot of people who haven't seen each other for a while are going to be like all this energy of just like, oh my god, let's just get together and have like the biggest fucking party because everyone's aching for it. So it's going to be wild. I think it's going to be pretty wild. At least from that standpoint of people just going out there trying to have fun. I would recommend, a lot of people might, okay, this is just my personal experience. I go there to enjoy myself and have some mild level of content creation. I'm not full on how do I capitalize on being here for content creation, because if you do that, you're ruining such a good experience of spending time with So
I am just there to enjoy myself, soak it all in, never been there before, finally there.
Yeah,
and see, that's what I kind of wanted to get to earlier, because we were talking about like, being there as a content creator, which is great. I mean, there is like, there is a bit of news to cover. You will get back. You'll probably talk about it. You'll probably get on whatever podcast, probably MogTalk, and talk about it. Who knows? And then there's stuff like TwitchCon, where it's basically almost the same. It's like half and half. Like when I go to TwitchCon, I got business cards. Half of the time I'm working. The other half I'm seeing my friends. There's so many parties and whatnot. So it's a little bit like half and half. Whereas this one, I kind of feel like no matter if you're a content creator or a player, we're all fans. And that's mainly the reason we're here.
The most important, yes.
Yeah. I mean, are you?
That's what I want to be there as a player, as a fan of the game. Yeah. I want to. Just.
It's a different experience, and I feel pretty. I'm gonna rename the show "Content Creators Going to Fan Fest" or something like that, or something because that's what most of the conversation has been like for the perspective and everything.
Yeah.
I will say outside of that, like this show, we haven't talked too much about it, but being just a viewer, and I would love to actually get the perspective of a lot of people who are going that aren't content creators. But what do they expect, right? What do they want to see when they're there? Because it's been a while. For me, it was just going there because it was a cool thing to do. I didn't have much expectations in 2014 about it. But like, I don't know what a lot of people are. I think most people are going because they want to hang out with their FC mates. They want to hang out with their friends that they play online, their statics, go out and just party in Vegas a little bit with them. It's a great excuse to do it. And then also, if they see somebody like that they watch on stream or something, go say hi, take a second. But they're not going to do more. Most people are really shy. Even someone in chat, they were like, "Oh, I saw Frosty there, but I was too shy to go say anything." Aww. A lot of people are in that boat. And,
I'm also very shy, man. I'm a very shy person in real life.
Are you?
I feel that.
I don't know if I believe that completely.
Oh yeah, I'm a keyboard warrior, man. Like
I'll say this. I feel like I'm only speaking for myself here. If you see me, say hi. I'm Southern as shit. I will probably I'll probably say hi to you back. Wait, what?
That I grew up in the South, and that was so weird to me because I would always say hi to everybody. I'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" You know, walking down, random person I've never in my life. Wave, "Hey, how are you?" All this good stuff, and that was just normal. Then you move somewhere else, and they're like,
"That's normal."
I went to like,
I'm not used to that.
I went to London, and I said hi to people. I brought that whole Southern, just like I see someone, I acknowledge they exist, so they acknowledge I exist, and there's no threat. Threat is friendly and everything else, but everybody's like, "What the fuck? Is something wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why are you
do
saying?"
I know you kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like, I'm Southern, so if you come up to me and say hi, like I will, like, yeah, come up to me, say hi. We'll probably have a whole ass conversation, yada yada yada. Like, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid.
Yeah,
I'm totally down.
I'm a
Come
person.
say hi to me.
I'm human.
Yeah.
yeah.
You say little son to me, I'm out. Like, don't talk to me. I'm leaving. No, it's okay. You can call me that. I totally don't mind it. But yeah, totally down to say hi to anybody who comes up to me. I'm okay with that.
100%. I've said this multiple times. I would love it for anyone to come up and say hi to me because this is the only time I get to like meet people who support what I do, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I wouldn't have the opportunity I've had this month without the people who are supporting me. And so if you guys come up and say hi, I'm going to be appreciative as fuck because you guys are extremely important to us being able to do what we're doing. I wouldn't be able to do the World Race. I wouldn't be able to do MogTalk. I wouldn't be able to do anything if there weren't people out there actually watching it and giving a crap. And so literally, that makes me feel really good. And I'm sure it makes a lot of content creators feel good to know that there's people out there where we aren't overwhelmed by people saying nice things and giving us a reason and reinvigorating us to keep doing what we're doing. So, I know it could be kind of odd. You feel bad. You don't want to feel, even if we're like, look a little stressed in our face, we'll probably, okay, we're still pretty happy to say hi to people. I had a conversation with Koji in an elevator once, and he was like, I didn't spend too much time with him because he was just like all over the place, like, hi. Everybody was coming up to him and saying hi to him and everything. But, he's a nice guy, and at the same time, he's happy to talk. If he has a second to talk, he will. I will say be respectful in the sense of like, we're trying to get somewhere sometimes, but other times, if you haven't said hi, we're at least able to say hi, high five, sign, whatever, real quick and get where we need to go. It's not going to be too much for the most part.
Right.
So yeah. Do you think there are going to be any more FanFest news during the live letter next week? Probably.
Yeah,
Possibly,
probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
We're getting closer.
Yeah.
This will probably be the only like the one live letter. Well, besides part 2, between now and FanFest. Then if we think about it,
there might be 3 total. I would think there'd be 1 now, 1 more before the next patch, right? They have to do a part 1, part 2.
So 2.
And then after that patch comes out, they will probably have 1. They might have 1 more live letter. I don't know. That's a hard call. There could be 1 more before FanFest.
Yeah, there should be, yeah.
Because they want to talk about 6.5 a little bit, but they will probably want to do a live letter at FanFest, right?
At FanFest.
So
they're
probably going to do that there. So
that's what I'm banking on.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Because if they have it right, it'd be like in early May would be part 2 maybe or something like that, and then 1, 2. It is like 3 months, but I guess that might be fine. Live letter at FanFest. So yeah, I think you're kind of onto it, Sly. 2 more than the 1 at FanFest. Usually, everything about the event is focused on the expansion. Then the live letter is about 6.5 or that next patch coming up.
Yeah, the next patch. Yeah.
It is interesting. I didn't realize we had Sly and myself, who've been to like pretty much every fan fest, and then we had Arthars and Co, who's never been to a fan fest on this show.
Complete polar opposites.
Yeah,
babies over here.
But yeah, and this is way back in the day. I think this was 2016. Xeno wasn't going to go out to do fan fest, right? He was like, I just don't have money. I can't make this work. And I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Is Xeno, one of the most popular content creators, even at that time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and now he is too, right? But even back then, I mean, he's been a main stay in the Final Fantasy XIV community forever. And he was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, how much does an airplane ticket and a hotel really cost? And then I just like...
Dude.
It
was rough.
I just
it
raised
was
money.
rough when we first...
Maybe
it
back
was
then,
very rough when we first started streaming. There wasn't any money in this.
Yeah, not nearly as much, and so... that's why I pushed for him to go out there, and he went out there and he had a great time and he loved it. But yeah, I think for you, Arthars, you have to go. You really have to.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is my Dude, I really wanted to be there for the 2181, man, but it's just didn't get a ticket, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you message me the moment I couldn't get ticket, the very next day, me and my family planned for an Okinawa, Japan trip. And then after that, 2 days later, you messaged me and you told me, yo, I got a ticket if you want to go. I'm like, bruh, I bought the air tickets already. You know, I can't cancel air tickets already. I would have been there, really.
Yeah.
That was, So I'm definitely not going to miss this one. I'm not missing this one.
So we'll see how it all turns out, but I think that this event's going to be really crazy, just high energy, everything. I don't think there's a lot of things to be too concerned about. I'm very curious about like the details and how they're going to handle the emission and like how they're going to handle like what the venue is going to look like, if they're going to do multiple rooms or if they're going to do a single room, because like at the 2018 one, they separated it into multiple rooms, and a lot of other ones they had it all in just one room. So in 2018 they had like one big venue for maybe the panels and maybe a couple extra side things in there. They had a couple rooms that were dedicated to merchandise and it was just over there on the side. Then they had another room that was dedicated to I think some challenges, large scale challenges, where it's like maybe 24 versus 24 versus 24 computer setups. And so
I think all that room had all the PCs, right?
Yeah. They had a huge PC room. And then when I went to the EU one, that one was crazy. It was just the venue was just an insane venue. I don't know if you guys remember seeing it at all, but it was just one big, long venue that had like little stair balcony areas where they set up different events on the side and everything, but it all led to the main screen at the very end. And it was crazy. I don't know exactly what this one looks like, if they're only renting out one room or not. But I am very curious how that plays out. I know a lot of people were very curious why they didn't do like 100,000, person event. These events aren't that big. They usually don't have enough stuff. I mean, I'm trying to imagine what that would even look like, right? They would have to have so many people come and volunteer to do panels, which I think they have enough people that might be able to make that work somewhat. But I don't know. It's a lot for them to manage to make that work, because that's how TwitchCon and stuff does that, right? They get like have people maybe sign up to do a panel or speak at certain times and do different things. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I brought this up like several times because again, FanFest is usually done from the dev side. It's not like moving forward. For future FanFest, I would like to see like half dev, half community. Like we have a really, really passionate community, and there's so many things we can talk about. Like hell, they've had like all the events we do in game, all the shit we create in game. We've had a Fish Fest. We've had the Fish Fest. We've had there's stuff like Fish Fest. There's stuff like internal stuff like LunarCon, like another con that was created in the wake of not having a con. And there's so many like topics, lore, crafting, things like that. And that's like why the devs aren't milking the community for that content, just allowing us to do panels and whatnot. Like I don't know.
It could also be awkward having people speak on lore that aren't officially Square Enix employees saying things on it and giving very unofficial thoughts and opinions that
and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it, because like usually panels like that is just like opinion. It's like opinion, and it's like it's analysis and opinion. Like if you want to really get someone to fact check it, have Koji take a part of it. Koji can like be there as a celebrity and be like, and come up on stage and be like, well, that's a little bit wrong. But like, like usually panels like with TwitchCon, it's like those community made panels.
Yeah.
Like it just makes sense, because like there's so many things to talk about within like Final Fantasy. Like, if people want to talk about like getting started or crafting and gathering, it's not gonna be objective in the slightest. Like there might be like a little bit of fact checking they have to do in terms of looking good in front of people, but mostly it's going to be subjective, and that's okay. That's like half the anime cons and culture cons anywhere you see right now.
Well, I was going to compare it to like BlizzCon or something, but BlizzCon is mini games.
Right.
I almost feel like they should do like a Square Enix con almost and incorporate Final Fantasy 14 into that in some way. I don't know. Do it like BlizzCon.
I don't know how the game gets so.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of games they would have.
It's
the Cydia, right? The Cydia is out there. They could do stuff with that.
I want the Cydia to come back. It's been a long time.
Mainline Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy 16 would have its own little thing, Then they would have Nier would have its own little area. That's a huge one. And then you would probably
Dragon Quest.
Yeah, Dragon Quest would be like another huge franchise under their belt. They could do that because BlizzCon is Diablo, StarCraft, World of Warcraft, things like that, right? They have their own little splits there, and they could have a section where they just kind of group in some of their other games like Octopath and just the other ones that have come out just on the side. So I don't know. There's maybe a possibility for something like that, but yeah, Final Fantasy 14 is strictly just Final Fantasy 14, and maybe they want to just have complete control over that kind of content they're presenting out there, and that's the only reason we don't see that. It would be nice. It would be nice if there was like some sort of unofficial panels that they allowed, and they just paid for the venue out there and everything else, because they could sell 100,000 tickets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But do they want to manage that though? That sounds like a logistical.
I think they would make the money. Honestly, they would make the money that would come out of paying the price of having that amount of people there. There is no doubt they could exist, but it's a huge project, and they do it 3 times in a year. So I don't know. Maybe that's another part of it. Is like doing that 3 times is a little bit overboard. But we'll see. But yeah, man, we've been going at this for about 2 hours. Man, it's funny. FanFest isn't even happening for another 4 months here, but we're all like excited for it. We have to make plans for it. These things are huge deals that take a while, but we're at the front of it. It's gonna be interesting to see what the after effect is after we're all done with FanFest and going on and talking about it. And we're gonna come on with bloody noses and like all crazy and everything else. It's gonna be like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. Like maybe like the Hangover movie, like we all come on.
Right.
Yo, question though.
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna be doing like a on-site FanFest? FanFest, MogTalk?
I was thinking about it. I've done it before.
Like in your hotel room,
Yeah. Last time I did it, it was just in the middle of a hotel hallway.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Because that's the only place we could get quiet, because they were practicing every single time. Like the Primals were practicing every single time, and we couldn't get like any quiet area. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Is like just maybe I wouldn't be doing anything like that, because that would be content creation work at the same time, and that would take away of a rare opportunity of seeing people in person. It may be worthwhile to do one, but then what's the proper point to do it? After day 1, after day 2, on the 3rd day before the orchestra. When do you get people all together to have a show about it?
You see, that's the part where Sly comes in, and just now what Sly covered. you need to. I mean, we don't want to make you do it just because of oh, I need to milk this. No, find a time. After I mean, obviously the best time would be like after everything. You know what I mean? Like after the day. You also need to rest for the next day, but just make it where it's. Don't do it for the sake of doing it. Don't do it to milk it because you don't want to tire yourself. Right. Just make it like fun for everybody. Because the people that you're gonna get on, the people you're gonna ask questions, and there's gonna be so many people you can ask. We also don't want to suddenly like cut a time off just for this. You know what I mean?
I kind of
hopefully
curious.
You do it right.
I'm very curious about if they allow any kind of IRL streaming or anything like that. I feel like they're not going to allow it. But people do it in some level or way anyway. But I wonder if they will officially say, it's allowed. If it is, then I'm almost like curious if I should go rent or invest into some setup for that, just for a little
equipment for it.
Yeah, because that would be interesting. But at the same time, when you're doing that, you're not having that same interaction you would have with all your friends if you're on stream, right? Constantly walking around. It's a different interaction being with your friends and hanging out. And having dinner or something, and just a little bit more personal. But it would be cool. It would be cool to have something like that, and at least to stream live. If I'm gonna even stream a show live, that's the thing I've never done. I've never streamed live at FanFest and did a MogTalk there. That could be interesting. But we'll see. My dream. My like, hey, I've done it. I've made it podcast wise. I'm good.
I can see where
they invite me up.
I can see where you're going. Yeah.
A panel called MogTalk where I get to interview Yoshida and just whoever else, and I'm just sitting there. That would be like, hey, I am very happy.
It happen one day.
If that happened,
yeah.
I'm gonna let you know if they reached out to me, and I'm going through this whole full-time streamer thing right now, trying to figure everything out. But if they said that to me, I'm done. I'm full-time streamer. I'm like, I am in. Everything
just
goes
as fast as you started.
Yeah. Well, no. I would be done as the decision is made. I'm going forward 100%. Because that is the biggest. Go ahead.
It's like happy, right? Getting invited by Square Enix, like specifically invited by Square Enix to go to the headquarters and get those interviews done like that right there. I think after that, I think after the experience for happy, it's like, I mean, what else? What else? What more else do I need to do? You know what I mean? Like that. Everybody. I was so envious. That's a dream right there.
Yeah, there's been some crazy stuff I haven't really expected. I mean, again, we're doing this from a perspective as like content creators and everything else. But like, for example, the whole 2019 circuit was crazy for me because I was actually doing those stage events for PvP for both the NA and EU one. And they used a video I created and put it on stage at the JP one and put my picture up on the board real quick and said thank you to me personally at the JP FanFest. That was the most involved I've ever been with anything like that, right? And so at that point I was like, well, fuck, man, I'm this is a really good feeling. And so I didn't really know, past that point. I already feel like overly honored because of that stuff, and I could be okay, if those things don't happen again. But at the same time, a panel for MogTalk. Again, I'm sold. Like, I have no excuse. I have to go full deep into this because that is crazy for me to think if I would have a chance like that. But otherwise, it's been great working with those guys. Square Enix they're always really nice to the content creators. But again, they're a business, and we have to keep that in mind. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Anyways. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to go over? I know we've been going over this for like the last 2 hours or so. But anything else that you're just thinking of? Any questions, Arthars, you have, or Sly? Anything that just you're reminded of that worth?
Oh, I got one.
Yeah.
How bad is it gonna stink at this con? Like, I swear, I hope
they're pretty well ventilated, man. I don't know.
Here we go.
I feel like they've been pretty well ventilated. Go ahead.
Yeah. I kind of feel like this and TwitchCon kind of have the same issue. I'm putting it out there for everyone. If you're watching this episode of this podcast and you are going to FanFest, please, for the love of God, take care of yourself. Shower, deodorant, brush your teeth, mouthwash. Just Just do human shit. Just do human shit. That's all I'm asking. Is just do human shit. Take care of yourself. That way you don't smell like death amongst everybody else. Please and thank you. That's all I'm asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm scared.
I personally haven't ran into too many issues with it. I think maybe I have a few blacked out like scars in my mind where I just like don't remember it. But for some reason, I feel like I've never ran into too bad of an issue there. But we're always in casinos, and they're really good about getting air inside those those buildings. It might be a little bit different at a convention center. I don't know. But I never ran into too many. But yeah, please take Sly's words seriously. We forget about that sometimes when we're on our own and we're in our nice, wonderful, degenerate lives where we don't have to go outside and talk to people. But you're going to be a place where you talk to people, so try to like be remotely hygienic.
You're not going for world first. You're not in your chair for 16 hours. God damn it, please. Shower.
Are you trying to like take shots at world first players here, Sly?
Oh.
What is that?
No.
Oh, I am going to let him know. I'm going to let him know. This could be a concern.
The next drama's already on its way.
Oh, no.
Gosh, thank you, Sly. I was so worried about running out of content. Now I can have a show about what Sly thinks about World Racers.
Oh, man.
That's all I got for questions, though, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sly, Arthars?
Nothing much regarding to the Fan Fest.
Yeah.
Nothing much. I wanna we'll get there and then
Yeah.
we have another episode after.
Yeah, absolutely. We will have another episode after the talk about how everything went. I think that's gonna be really cool. It'd be cool to do an on-site interview with a couple of people and everything else. But yeah, no, it's going to be. People might come up and pay for you to yell at them, Arthars. But
you're gonna make some money. You're gonna be working a little bit.
No.
Arthur's gonna pay back his trip and like, get his trip back in full just by yelling at people. Let's go.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have to gamble. Let's go.
Yep. Shit. Sly, anything else you want to add in?
No. I'm just really excited to see all the content. Really excited to see people, see all of you.
Man,
I'm hyped.
It's been so long. It's been so long. Sly, I think the last time we saw each other was the Shadowbringers media tour. Isn't that right?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh my gosh. It is insane. All right. Well, then we can go ahead and wrap up. I mean, this has been a fun show. I appreciate all of you coming on.
Thank you for having us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Of course. Before we go, of course, I got to do the last bit of rounds of shout-outs. Anything you want to say before you leave, where people can find you, and all that other stuff. I'll go in the same order again. Sly, you want to tell everybody where they can find you? Anything else you want to say before leaving?
Again, thank you so much for bringing me on, Frosty. You can find me at twitch.tv/SlyAkaGreyFox. You can find me on Twitter at SlyAkaGreyFox. Those are mainly it. Anywhere else, you like all my information's there. I usually stream every day except Sunday, but tomorrow is my 7-year partnerversary, so I will be streaming.
Congrats.
Yeah, every day. Thank you so much. I'm just getting old. I'm old man. I'm old man.
We're all feeling it this way, except for Ko. I think he's like 10.
I'm 11. Thank you very much. But turning 12 this year later.
Yeah.
But again, thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it. And thank you, chat, for all your support.
Of course. Ko?
Hey guys, you can find me, honestly, just Google my name if you can spell it correctly. I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube, just do like Kougaon 14. If you just type in Kougaon normally, you might get a different result, like relating to Persona 5, so just be careful you don't go into that. But yeah, Kougaon pretty much everywhere. And if you can't, just add that little, what's that little line at the end, underscore?
The
Underscore. Yeah, so Kougaon underscore almost everywhere, so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frosty.
No, yeah, of course. And I've kind of gotten to the point to where I'm like, I could tell everybody all these different handles and everything else, so you could just, it sounds so, man, people are going to listen to the show and be like, these privileged assholes, these pieces of shit. They're talking about all these things about going and, meeting people and content creator. What are these assholes talking about? And then I'm like about to say, just Google MogTalk and that'll take care of it. because I'm just so tired. Like I just can't. I can't even remember myself all the different places and everything else. But yeah, no, I'm sure we're gonna have. You even had a couple. I think there's one pissed off person at the end. It's like content creators get everything special. They get everything. I'm just like, I don't think these people really understand what the world is like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just people are there. There's a handful of people who are gonna be really angry. Now that I'm starting to think about it. But at the same time, I mean, we're just talking about from a perspective that I think is actually fairly interesting. But yeah, I feel you, Ko, about at least the handles and everything else. It gets kind of difficult to keep up with, especially if they're different ones overall. Unfortunately, Arthars has a little bit of trouble
Surprisingly,
because of R.
Yeah, surprisingly, my name throughout these 20 years isn't taken, except for Twitter and YouTube. But on Twitch, luckily it's okay. But yeah, you guys can catch me on all the handles Frosty listed below. Oh, we also have a new. I think some my viewers convinced me to do it. Make a subreddit. We did a subreddit /r/Arthars. Yeah. So you guys can post stuff there. You want me to rate your play? You want me to shit on your FC drama and stuff? Yeah. Anything, post that. Yeah. It'll be fun. I would look at them, browse through them on stream. A few times on stream. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Every once in a while I see those pop up and I'm like, at what point do you get your own subreddit, right? And so we're seeing that with you now, Arthars. I think Xeno has one now too.
Oh yeah, he should. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that is actually pretty interesting. Because you know what? Even though I don't follow a lot of stuff with Asmongold, and I don't follow a lot of stuff with like WoW and stuff that's going on, I still see his subreddit show up all the time.
Actually, I mean, you see, like you say, right? You say earlier, right? All these social media, different handles. Some people message you on Twitch DM, which is who check Twitch DM? Very, very rare, right? And then Discord DM. But then you can't really check them when you're streaming, playing, or working, And then sometimes you get Twitter DM. You are not always in all those platforms, right? So I just decided, we just put one place, and then everybody can just post whenever you want, and then on stream we open it, and then we can just browse through. Overall, makes it maybe easier. I don't know. I mean, we just try. I don't even know. I never even used Reddit in my life. A lot of things, me and my moderator, how the hell does this work? Do you know where to find this? How do I change banner? Things we don't even know. All of us are just still exploring, So yeah. It'll be nice to see how it is.
Yeah. I mean, it is pretty interesting. Yeah, it is a good way to kind of reach out and just add that social. I'm learning all this stuff, by the way. Full-time streaming has been an insane journey of learning about all the different things that can be done out there to kind of expand and make this work. Again,
I'm still learning. After 8 years, I'm still learning. Yeah.
It's always a never-ending journey of learning.
Yeah.
There's so much, man. And I'm glad, there's a decent supportive community out there that can kind of help me along the way. Because I've always had this side hobby, just whatever, anything extra great, cool, and everything. But we just throw it out there. Now it's being financially dependent on it is a whole different world, man. it's different.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, again, you guys have been a blast on this show. Thank you for coming on and talking about FanFest.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to meeting you all, hanging out, and hopefully we all get BBQ.
Yeah.
We all just go and have a dinner together.
Yes,
that would be amazing to have one solid meetup. And you know what? We need to start planning that out. We need to start planning out Final Fantasy XIV content creator giant dinner reservation somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be fun. We'll see. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. You guys have been fantastic. Again, we can't say this enough. We wouldn't be here without you. Next week is the kind of last week where I'm trying to figure out everything with full-time streaming to see what that looks like in the future. So come hang out with me next week to see where that goes. I have some ideas and thoughts already, but I'm going to wait a little bit longer, let some things sink in, solidify, and then we'll see where we go next with everything. But nonetheless, it's been a blast over these last few weeks doing this. And I got to see what it's like to be in that perspective of coming on, streaming each day, going through and playing Final Fantasy XIV and hanging out with people. It's been really cool. And we'll get this up on YouTube as soon as we can. probably tomorrow, maybe a little bit earlier if we can. It depends on how long it takes to edit out all the horrible things we said. But no. Again, we'll see you guys all next time. Next weekend is a live letter show. Obviously, of course, right? We gotta talk about what happens on a live letter.
Oh shit, live letter. Oh yeah, holy shit.
I found out yesterday. Don't worry.
Yeah, so we got that going on.
Oh shit.
It's insane, and the world race is coming up, and so there's a lot of stuff that's going on. We actually have some really exciting news. I'm hoping to share with people, even outside of the full-time streaming stuff. There's some really cool stuff that's coming down the pipeline. So look forward to that as well.
Yeah.
And of course, you know where to Google MogTalk if you want to know where you. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and make sure we all have to wave and say bye at the same time, and then we'll host somebody here in a second, so hold tight for that. So all right guys, bye everybody, bye.
Bye guys.
Bye.